mountain and I look down and see a world I was once underneath. I stand on this mountain and I look down by mine. There's more than it once knew. Then I knew. Then I knew. Then I knew. Then I knew. Now you're here. You're here. You're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than found me, see. Found me, see. I climb down this mountain and I look around just to see that everyone used to be me. I climb down this mountain and I look around my mind, embracing more than the truth, than the truth, than the truth, than the truth, than the truth. Now you're here, you're here, you're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be. Found me, see. Found me, see. I once was blind, but now I see the beauty of the world before me. Now you're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be. Now you're here, you're there. Now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than found me, see. Found me, see. Found me, see. Found me, see.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? We got special guests with us on panel tonight. ArcticFox True Crime, and as Kimber is here with us as well. Run through chat real quick. We have Kimber number 1. We have Chris in the house, Paula in the house, Arctic in the house. Don't dox me. Welcome back. Welcome in. We got Doodlebug. Hey, I'm watching hockey. If we see throwing hands again tonight. Oh Lord, it ain't a good hockey game without throwing hands. There's FarQ in the house. Stormy's in the house. Sure I don't miss anybody. Mark's in the house. Scott's in the house. Wisdom's in the house. Lisa Joe joining us tonight. I apologize if I miss anybody. Mark says I remember this one. Lars runs bolts out of the airport like a he runs and bolts out of the airport like a killer chasing him. Yeah, this is ArcticFox brought us this story tonight. Hello. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all to you. Butterfly Kisses in the house. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys for being up here tonight.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I'm honored to be here.
Me too.
I surely do appreciate y'all for coming up. We do have one quick thing that I'm going to go over before we get into the show tonight, just because I gave my word. And then tomorrow, I thought we would do like what I call a mix-up matchup, missing persons. But we have a child's case here that I do want to hold to my word and share his name and his face real quick. This is Sky Metawala. I hope I did not pronounce that wrong. He's been missing since November 6, 2011 from Bellevue, Washington. Sky would be 15 years old this year. Sky was left in supposedly a broken down car by his mother after falling asleep in it. She had taken the older sibling and was walking to the gas station a mile away. When she arrived back to the car, Sky was gone. Although the family has been cooperative, his mom has not been since Sky went missing. So I think that's one that we're going to add to the missing live tomorrow night. And
Yeah,
we will,
I actually want to kind of look deeper into that because, from my understanding, it was a CPS kind of failure on that case. So,
oh, wonderful. Those are our favorite. Those are the ones that get my blood pressure good and up. Thank you, Butterfly Kisses, for bringing that to our attention. And he will be added to the list tomorrow night because I feel like we haven't done a good, strong missing persons live in a while. And I want to do that and get some faces recirculated out here in cases that maybe we haven't talked about in a while. And we may even throw in a couple of current cases. Miss Paula. Did I miss Miss Paula? I think I said hi, didn't I? I apologize if I missed you, honey. There's Molly in the house. CPS failure. Yeah, so I want to get some more stuff together before we fully cover him, but I did give my word I would bring him up on the live tonight, so I figured we would feature him. Good Lord, words are hard. Feature him at the beginning of the live tonight, and then we're going to get into this mysterious disappearance. Lars was a German tourist. He vanished in Varna Airport in Varna, Bulgaria, and I assume I'm pronouncing that correctly, Arctic?
yes, you are.
Okay. My accent makes it worse when I try to pronounce words that I'm not sure about, like some last names. I'm just like, right off the bat, I
Girl,
don't mean
you
any
ain't
disrespect.
you ain't even lying. I tried to cover some of these UK and foreign cases, and I'm just like, okay, my southern mouth is not made to pronounce these words.
No, so I try to get as close as I can, and I mean no disrespect whatsoever to the families or the victim or the missing, but sometimes I get pretty close, and then sometimes I don't. In like Australian cases, I've always got Far in here to help sound it out for me in chat, so I don't look like a complete fool trying to pronounce a name I've never seen in my life. Right, so I've got some pretty interesting stuff pulled up here, just so we can kind of take a look at the case, and then I did find the CCTV footage. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys it's a bit concerning. The CCTV alone was like seriously concerning. Your kids in the car. Well, this is not a kid-friendly show. This is the front porch, Lisa.
Well, it's her
she's
kid, so they
15 and
definitely
she's
heard worse.
seasoned.
Yeah, it's Lisa Joe's kid. They've definitely heard worse than what's going to come out of my mouth.
At me. We talked about Yowie the other night, Far. I was proud of myself. I think I nailed all the right words. She sent me an Australian dictionary, so it helps too. So I may or may not cheat when it comes to the Australian cases. All right, so all the articles will be included in the description after the live. I always like to do that. That way, if you have to step out, you got to go get coffee, you got to go pee, you got to water the dog's got to water the grass, whatever the case may be. You can always refer back to whatever we share with here on the show as far as articles, videos, things like that. So that way you all can go back and look at it at your own time. If you feel like sharing something on your own channel, then you know that, hey, you know what? Didn't we go over there at Mom's the other night? Maybe she put the link in the description. Well, I'm trying to remember to put them in there so that way you guys have those easy to get to as well if you guys do want that information.
Oh, 100%. And if you're a creator that wants to cover the case, it's going to make the research that much easier for you to have those links right there.
Mhm.
So.
And it kind of gives you that running start too. You're like, gives you that good place where you can go in and you're kind of familiar with the article or with the footage or whatever was used. And that way you're not like searching, because the sad thing about it is a lot of people that go missing, you'll find 10 other people with the same name. And then you're sitting here and you're looking at pictures and you're thinking, was that the picture of the person I was covering a few minutes ago? I missed it. I had to run and do animals. Bugger. Oh. We only briefly touched on Yahweh. I showed pictures. I've even pulled up the I call it the Bagooger Wikipedia, but that's not what it is. It's scripted Wikipedia. Yeah, you got to walk your fish, whatever the case may be, which weirdly enough here in Florida, we do have walking catfish. I think there's a video on my channel or on my Facebook or something. Who the hell knows?
Do they have legs?
ADHD. No, they don't have legs. But interesting enough, they actually come up on the land and they can cross land for a certain period of time to get to water. It's called a walking catfish. Looks like a normal catfish, kind of. I saved one in the 7-Eleven hot dog box. Because we had to send a country girl down to save the catfish that was in.
I can't imagine what I would think if I saw a catfish walking across land to get to water.
I didn't know what it was at first. We were sitting up on the second store balcony, and I was like, what the hell is that? Is that an eel? Why is it in the middle of the road? And it was right after a hurricane, and I was actually at Minnie's apartment in Daytona when it happened, and I got down there, and I was like, it's a catfish. So I'm standing in the middle of the road Googling catfish crossing the road, and believe it or not, it's called a walking catfish. So I went and grabbed a 7-Eleven hot dog box, like the cardboard box.
Wow.
And I scooped him up in it and took him back down to the inlet.
Yeah, if I
Yeah, they
saw
walk
that,
on
I
their
would
fin.
probably question whether someone had tampered with my gummies.
What did they put in my gummy?
They call this guy and make sure that I order 3 more packages exactly like that package.
I want some more of them gummies. I see walking catfish.
Hell yeah. You've been taking Arctic's gummies? No, they're really a real thing, Lisa. I'm not even kidding you. There should be a video somewhere of it, because I was the only one that was brave enough to go get the ain't no walking fish around my pots. There is down here. You need to see a video. Remind me, Lisa, after we get done with the case, and I'll pull up a video of a walking catfish. Because I think, honestly, the video is on my personal Facebook, and I don't share my personal Facebook on here. I share my channel Facebook, because I don't even have it logged in on this computer to keep me from doing that. She says, I'm a scientist. Proof is necessary. Yeah, I'll definitely show you their real thing. Look here. Peggy wants you to share your gummies, Arctic.
I'm actually out of my microdose gummies that I usually take, and all I have are the great big ones that will have me limp-legged for 2 days straight. So y'all be thankful. Yeah, y'all be glad I have spared y'all of me coming on panel after I've taken one of those. So.
Oh my god, I haven't had gummies in a long time. When the first bag I got of them, I didn't know you weren't supposed to eat the whole bag. 45 minutes later, I was like, wow, I ate that whole bag of gummy worms. They were good, though. They were good. The mega dose.
Did you just think they were like regular gummy worms, or?
No, I just forgot. I was editing a video, and I just sat there and was eating them like candy, and then I don't know, it was bad. I should have never ate the whole bag. Hey, y'all, so I'm thinking about doing a live at 11 or 12. At 11 or 12 midnight, or during the day, ma'am? Dandy wants to know which leg goes limp. Oh, Lord.
The first time I took one of those big dose gummies, Let me tell you something. I thought I was going to have Austin bring a bucket into the bedroom so I could pee. My legs were so limp, I was afraid to get up and even try to walk.
Oh, man. Those are serious gummies. Them are some serious gummies. Good Lord.
Well, usually I take like the normal THC ones that have Delta 8 and Delta 9 in them. These things have that THCP, and usually when you get the gummies that have THCP, it's only like 1 milligram or whatever. These motherfuckers have 500 milligrams of THC altogether. I'm sorry, 6,500 milligrams of THC altogether. And 500 just of Delta 9 alone. I'm trying to find what it says, how much it has of the THCP. I can't find it on here, but it's a lot more than the 1 milligram that's in the other ones that I take.
Oh, wow. He got some oil from some guy, some THC oil. He ended up giving it away. It was too much for him. It smelled weird, too. Good evening, Dandy.
Oh, dandy lioness.
That's my dandelion. All right, so I'm going to get into this first article. Heads up, guys, I woke up with a headache. It's gone now, so I'm going to try not to stumble over all of my words. It says, what happened to Lars Mittank, the German tourist who vanished near a Bulgarian airport on July the 8th of 2014? 28-year-old Lars Mittank disappeared in a field near the Varna airport in Bulgaria, and some of his last known moments were caught on video. That's really strange, a field. How the hell do you disappear in a field? I'm just going to start out with that. What began to be a carefree Eastern European vacation ended in a family's worst nightmare, and a mystery that endures to this day. Lars, a 28-year-old from Berlin, Germany, joined his friends on a holiday in Bulgaria in 2014, but he never made it back home. Years later, he was dubbed the most famous missing person on YouTube, as an airport security video was the last known sighting spread across the internet. He has never been found, despite millions of people viewing Lars' video online. And then this is a picture I used for the thumbnail. That's such a good picture, and it's so beautiful. I miss the mountains, but they have a different kinds of mountains over there. He did disappear at age 28, moments before boarding his flight back home. Lars fled a busy airport in Varna, suffering from a head injury he had sustained during a fight a few days back. He disappeared into the forest surrounding the airport, never to be seen again. Lars has been missing for more than 6 years, and of course it's been more than 6 years, and despite compelling leads and his mother publicly pleading for information, the case appears to be no closer to being solved than it did the day he vanished. I hate that word when they talk about missing people, because people don't just vanish. Lars' trip was darkened early on by a bar fight. I'm not even going to try his middle name. It's a beautiful name, but I'm going to chop it all to pieces, y'all. So we're just going to stick with Lars. Was born on February 9th, 1986 in Berlin. He's a baby. At age 28, he joined a handful of his school friends on a trip to Varna, Bulgaria. There, the group stayed in the Golden Sands Resort on Black Sea coast. At one point during the trip, Lars found himself involved in a bar fight with 4 men, which the soccer club was better, SV Werder Bremen or Bayern Munich. Lars was a Werder supporter, while the other 4 supported Bayern. Lars left the bar before his friends did, and they allegedly didn't see him again until the next morning. This is the resort that he was staying at. This is the Golden Sands Resort in Varna, Bulgaria, before he disappeared. Okay. It says when Lars finally turned up at the Golden Sands Resort, he informed his friends that he had been beaten up. Different friends offered different accounts, which in turn featured different details. Some told authorities that Lars was beaten by the same group of men he clashed with inside the bar, while others claimed that the men had hired a local to do the job for them. Regardless, Lars walked away from the incident with an injured jaw and a ruptured eardrum. Oh. He eventually went to see a local doctor who prescribed him 500 milligrams of antibiotic ceprofil, an antibiotic, to prevent his wounds from becoming infected. He was also told to stay behind while his friends headed home because of his injury. He said, "I don't want to die here." This is a screenshot of the CCTV. This is him. Well, I'm not sharing my whole screen, but the yellow shirt, that's him running. Lars' friends offered to delay their return until he healed up, but he urged them not to and scheduled a later flight. He then checked into a hotel near the airport where he began exhibiting strange erratic behavior. Hotel cameras captured Lars on video hiding inside of an elevator and leaving a building at midnight, only to return hours later. He called his mother and whispered the people were trying to rob or kill him. He also texted her asking about his medication and to block his credit cards. On July 8th, 2014, Lars entered the Varna airport. He met the airport physician to check up his injuries. The doctor told Lars that he could fly, but Lars remained anything but at ease. According to the physician, Lars looked nervous and asked him questions about the medications he was taking. The airport was undergoing refurbishment, and during Lars' consultation, a construction worker entered the office, and that was reported by Mail magazine. Lars was overheard saying, "I don't want to die here." I have to get out of here. Before getting up to leave, after dropping his belongings on the floor, he ran down the hall outside the airport. He climbed over a fence and once on the other side. He disappeared into the nearby forest, never to be seen again. And then it says, "Why is Lars' fate remains a puzzle with many missing pieces?" And that looks like this was his original flyer. I guess that's like an age progression on the right. And then it has the German, which you would probably do better by doing Facebook or this QR code if you're here in the States and if you were there or have any information. Yeah, this was a flyer. According to Dr. Todd Grande, a certificate of mental health counselor who has covered Lars' disappearance on a YouTube channel, Lars had no history of mental illness and a popular theory that Lars was looking for an excuse to run away and start a new life. Well, I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to say this guy right here, I'm on the fence with him. I don't know about you, Arctic, but I'm on the fence with him. And this is the third case that's a mysterious disappearance that I've heard him use those same words. I mean, to the T. They were looking to start a new life.
Yeah, I mean, I like Todd. I think he does a good job on his videos and stuff. But, again, we don't know what happened. He's just giving his 2 cents on it. None of us really know what happened. And so, unless we were there, my biggest problem with Todd is that you got to put him on like 2x to listen to him or you'll fall asleep.
Right. When I did Bryce LaPisa, I reviewed one of his videos. I didn't do it on here, but I was watching one of his videos, and he does phenomenal work. And I mean, no disrespect to him at all with him in the field that he's in. Kudos for him, and I appreciate him doing it. But that almost seems like a go-to. Well, maybe they just wanted to start a new life. What, in my opinion, I mean, a head injury like that can cause psychosis. It can cause manic. It can cause so many different things. I mean, and it seems like these cases, he wasn't at home. He was in a different place. And once again, I'm not mean any disrespect to his friends, but they left it. I would have been like, "No, man, I'm going to stay here with you and make sure you get home safely," which that's just me. How many people
I
have
agree.
actually been found?
Yeah, I agree 100%. But in fairness, he told his friends to go on without him. So
Yep,
I wouldn't have done it. I would have stayed. But,
I would have
and
too.
I'm sure they are
I'd have
beating
said sorry.
themselves up now because they took off.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Don't Dox Me. Thank you so much for being in, Dago. Thank you for coming over. I have a cousin with a TBI, and he's paranoid as fuck. My son, Minnie, has a TBI. He has a severe TBI. So that's something that I'm really well
Now,
versed in the effects of.
what I do disagree with him on is that this man suddenly developed paranoid schizophrenia at the drop of a hat, because I've never heard of it just instantly onsetting like that. Usually, people with paranoid schizophrenia will suffer with that to an extent their entire lives. Now, it may get progressively worse, but yeah.
Yeah, paranoid schizophrenia is more of that's a chronic. That's not like an acute. Because acute would be just like, boom. But that's more of, that's more of over time. It's not something you just develop overnight.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that's something that's like it's an onset effect. And I mean, it can come in different ways. There's different things that trigger something like that. I don't even know if that's something that would lay dormant. I don't think so. I don't think it's something that lays dormant. It might lay dormant. I don't know. I should probably research that. So don't hold me to that, y'all. SW Collectibles, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here on the channel, guys. Mittens is here, just making sure I didn't miss anybody while I'm over here paying attention to chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Beer. And see, we could go with the drugs, but I did read in an article that he wasn't known for using drugs. But there's always that possibility that it could have been spiked with something. Like, I still to this day, it doesn't set well with me that, hi Leslie, that Riley Strain, I don't know. I just feel like with the Texas he sent his mom about how his drink tasted and stuff like that, it's possible something was put in his drink. And I don't know, like the after effects and things like that. He was 28, was it, y'all? Yes, he was 28 when he disappeared, Mr. Beer. Okay. I'm done critiquing Dr. Grande here. I'll finish up this article. Grande doubts this, however, because Lars was on good terms with his loved ones. His friends offered him to reschedule their flight so he didn't have to fly back alone. And he texted his mother through a madam. He texted his mother throughout the trip. Lars also didn't take anything with him when he fled, leaving his passport, his phone, and his wallet at the airport. Another theory holds that Lars was involved in some kind of a criminal enterprise that neither his loved ones nor authorities knew about. Drug trafficking, perhaps. While this theory would explain why Lars was never found, there is little evidence to support it. Yet another possibility is that Lars really was killed while staying behind in Bulgaria. He told his mother that he was being followed. Many online sleuths suspect that the men he fought at the bar were still after him. If they were in pursuit, then it could explain why Lars ran away. It could also explain why no one has ever found his body. Were the pursuers all in his head, as the Lars video suggests? A fourth theory holds that Lars could have been under the influence of drugs around the time of his disappearance. A lot of people believe that the antibiotic, which Lars had been prescribed to treat his ruptured eardrum, possibly combined with another substance, might have led him to suffering a psychotic episode. That's possible. Strange as it sounds, it's not impossible. Dizziness, restlessness, and hyperactivity are listed common side effects of the drug. On top of that, the studies suggest that the acute psychosis could be a potential adverse effect of some of the antibiotics. This could explain how behavior, someone with no history of mental illness, could have changed suddenly. If Lars was suffering from psychosis, the antibiotic he was taking have been in its direct cause. In this video, Dr. Grande proposes that Lars may have experienced a first break psychosis or an onset of something like schizophrenia. This, he argues, would explain the paranoia, delusions, and anxiety. Also explain the bizarre behavior displayed in the Lars video on YouTube. While Dr. Grande thinks that the psychosis theory is the most convincing way of the bunch, he stresses that it does not explain why Lars ran away or a body was never found. Oh, that's his mom, guys. The odds are against Lars being found at this point. And this is his mother seeks leads on her son's disappearance to this day. Despite years of investigation, the BKA, Army's Federal Criminal Police Office, Lars remains missing to this day. Every now and then, again, an internet troll, amateur sleuth, or concerned citizen who watched the Lars video claims to have seen him somewhere in the world. Every year, around 10,000 people go missing in Germany alone, and although 50% of all missing persons cases are resolved within less than a week, less than 3% are actually found within the year. Lars has been missing more than 6. In 2016, the police in Porto Velho, Brazil, picked up a man with no identification and apparently no idea where he was. Once an image of the man recovering in the hospital circulated social media, online sleuths noted that it looked similar to Lars. The man was later identified as Anton Pilipa of Toronto. He had been missing for 5 years. Wow. In 2019, a truck driver claimed that he had given Lars a ride outside of Dresden. The driver picked up a hitchhiker and was leaving the city of Brandenburg. On the way, that he could not help but notice the passenger's resemblance to Lars, and that lead went nowhere. His mother has appeared on countless television and radio shows over the years, as well as desperately trying to solve the mystery of Lars' disappearance. Her pleas to find her son have been aired on both German and Bulgarian channels, but never produced any results. Undaunted, she continues to post messages on social media. A Facebook group with over 41,000 people strong called Find Lars Mittank also regularly posts and apparently designed a post flyers in locations around Europe in an effort to find the world's most famous missing tourist. Wow. Let me. And how many times we see that way too much. Parents shouldn't have to be FBI agent, in my opinion. They just shouldn't. They shouldn't have to do their own investigations.
No, they shouldn't. And I feel like the drugs that he was given may have played a significant role in what happened. Because they can have those adverse side effects.
I never thought about an antibiotic having that kind of a side effect.
It's rare, but it can happen, apparently.
Oh, well. See, I'm going to show you guys. This is what happens. And I'm sure, Arctic, it probably happens to you too. Look at this. So somewhere in the past, I've been added to this group. See, I was already in this group. Isn't that strange how that happens?
Mm-hmm.
I get added to a lot of groups, though. But there's the link to the group. I'll also include that in the description as well for those of you that want to join this group if you're interested. There's some good pictures of him on here, it looks like. This says, please unfollow this group. It would help out massively to join the new group. Is there a new group? Oh, let's check out this group. Looks like the same group. Oh, wow. This group has been archived. That's very strange. Did you guys notice what happened?
It brought you back to the same group?
Yep.
It brought me back to the exact same group. So I don't even know if it'll let you guys join it if you're not already joined. But the other group, that other link, this has other missing people on it too.
When's the last time they posted a missing person on there? It's the last date.
2024.
Hmm.
February of 2024.
So a year ago.
Yeah, this kid, that's really strange that he popped up on there. I have some information pulled up on him, and I don't know if they want to be mentioned or not, but one of my subs knows the family, and his dad is willing to do or wanting to do a podcast. Yeah, you guys can still join this because it looks like there's missing people on here as well. I mean, you can join wherever you want. It just, we like to look in all of. I'll be lurking in everybody's group. You got missing people group? I'm going to be all up in your bushes. All right, so I'll stop sharing that. Yeah, I'm now that I'm kind of questioning that too. And that's why I don't take any kind of medications unless I have to, just for past reasons. But for a news raging case of schizophrenia, I know somebody that has schizophrenia too, and you could sit and play cards with her and never know it until she has an episode. Super interesting how it varies. It also runs my family's. Ms. Rear says, I treated a 26-year-old man, no history of drug usage. When he went on spring break, got dosed with an unknown drug, schizophrenia set on. Not saying that happened to Lars, just saying my experience. Thank you, Mr. Bear. That's interesting. Oh, Dr. Grande did a video on your grandmother? Wow, Stormy. No, exploding faucets aren't good at all. Drugs cost system was really set in, the possible hiding symptoms up until that point. Yeah, that really sucks. I'm sorry, Peggy. I hope you're not going through that. We talked about that today. You talked about what today, Dago? Did I miss a comment? This is my fault. Oh, how allergies and meds can do things. Antibiotics can cause altered mental status. Certain ones can make my mom batshit crazy. Wow. Thank you, Brutally. Thank you guys for all your input. I always appreciate everybody's input, the panel and the chat as well. It's rare. Thank you for bringing Arctic. Thank you for bringing that up. Arctic's a rock star. We're honored to have him here as part of the family. I know a bartender that has spiked his drink with meth. Spike someone's drink. Holy shit. See, that's why I don't go to bars. I'll drink my own liquor if I choose to. For 20 years, I've seen a lot more common than you think. Unfortunately, the young man I had treated a history of schizophrenia in his family. Do we know if Lars had a schizophrenia history? I haven't seen anything yet. I'm not going to say there's not. Arctic, do you know if there was any history
I
of
don't.
schizophrenia?
I have no idea if there was a history there or not.
I haven't seen anything yet, but when you skim over these articles, just so you kind of, you don't look like a moron when you get up here talking about them, but we might run across something because I've had it happen before. It's taking a second look at something, you read something and you think, did I read that? How families will deal with things that law enforcement should. Yeah, absolutely. Families should never have to deal with the things that they do, but some law enforcement just suck. Some of them are really good, but some of them suck. Yeah, and Lisa, I don't know about like over yonder how they do different things. Sometimes we get, hi Tracy, thank you so much for coming in. We get different people from around the world in here. So if we have somebody that comes in from Bulgaria or Germany, please, you don't have to tell us your exact location. Just let us know. And we may flood you with questions. I know a friend who was hit in the head and long after was diagnosed with it. My aunt was fine one day and the next found her in a parking lot with a knife. Talking about see next. Wanting to kill her husband and she was in her 40s. And I see in the video. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Starmy. I'll check it out. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate everybody for coming in. All right, what else did we have here? I pulled up an article for the Mirror too. Some of these articles might have some of the same information, but the reason I like to use different articles is a lot of times we hear different information that you may not hear from one article because it's a different source. And the Mirror is out of the UK, and I don't know why, but their media is so much different than ours. So anytime I can find a UK article, I'm gonna check it out because it just seems like some of the times you'll get like different information that's super interesting from them, from the UK ones. Chilling mystery of the most famous missing person on YouTube who vanished into the forest never to be seen again. It's a 30-second clip that's for dozens of conspiracy theories and families forever. One moment, Lars appears to be an ordinary young man dressed in an eye-catching yellow t-shirt walking through the airport with his luggage. The next thing, he's sprinting from the terminal for his life over a security fence and into the forest. What happens next is a mystery still not have been solved. The footage taken at Varna airport in Bulgaria is the last time anyone's seen or heard anything of the 28-year-old. He left behind his rucksack, suitcase containing his passport, and a phone, but they surrendered no clues as to what happened. He's such a cutie. Then it goes on to say, disappeared on July 8, 2014, has become an internet cause celebre, and from the terminal have been watched over 16 million times. The international intrigue in the case led to Lars being described as the most famous missing person on YouTube. Lars had flown with his friends from their home in Litsoe, that's probably pronounced wrong, northern Germany, to the Bulgarian sea resort of the Golden Sands. The holiday appeared to pass off without note until Lars was injured in a fight late one night. Then it goes on to talk about the fight, the group, the rival, and then his rest of his group at McDonald's. These are stills from the CCTV. I have the CCTV. I've got a couple different versions of it. Lars was punched in the head, and the fight left him with a perforated eardrum and possible concussion.
Do you have stills from the CCTV?
Yeah, this is stills right here.
You're not showing them.
Foiled by that. Ah, damn! I was all into this article too. So that's why y'all gotta watch me. I was over here looking at all the good stuff I'm sharing with y'all. 30.
Yeah. Do you see how she does this? See how she does this article? She hides the goods.
I was hiding all the goods from everybody. I was just going to keep it all to myself. I'm over here calling him a cutie. Y'all couldn't even see. Now y'all can see he's a cutie. And the Mirror with their... Okay, I got it to go away.
He's a very handsome young man.
This was coming out of the airport. This is in the airport with what they called in this article a knapsack, what I would call a duffel bag.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is him sprint. Lars made a terrifying panic phone call to his mom from his hotel room. He reportedly ordered her to cancel his bank cards and suggested he was being followed by people that were trying to kill him. Sandra Mittank told German TV, "I thought, God, my son is in danger. I could hear his heart pounding over the phone." He said people were trying to rob or kill him. He also sent his mom a text asking about the antibiotics he had been prescribed. So he was concerned about the medicine that he'd been prescribed. Dago, the mirror is usually a good resource for cases that are overseas. I'm sorry about the blonde lady. I forget your name. Your snore was cute the other night, though. I heard. I snored too. Tracy said you have cute snores, Kimber.
Thank you, Tracy. Doodle told me I snore like a pug. Where is Doodlebug to the white bone?
This. I'm roboting. Am I spotting?
You're roboting a little bit. I mean, it's not real bad. Swamp signal's kicking in just a little, but not really bad.
I don't have anything else running.
Okay, you're fine now.
I don't have anything running. Oh, well, if it's going to start doing this early, let me go ahead and do this. That way, you guys know if I disappear, what happened. I'll be back in a minute.
Arctic, we can do a hostile takeover.
I ain't gonna do that. I'm just lucky to be up here.
Panel takeover. Oh, I appreciate you coming up. You're welcome up anytime. I tried to put the front porch on here, but computer is not wanting to cooperate tonight. It wouldn't let me upload it. Probably because of the swamp signal. Now my chat's jumping all over the place. There's Miss Barbara.
Hi, Miss Barbara.
Thank you, Miss Barbara. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you, Dandy. Dandy said hallucinations can be caused by... Dandy said hallucinations can be caused by a number of antibiotics, including cephalosporins, fluoroquinolines, penicillins, and sulfa drugs.
I'm going to put the name of the drug in the chat, Dago, because if I try to say this, it's going to come out completely wrong.
I just put it in there.
This is the...
Cefurazime.
It's going in now.
I thought it was cefprozil that he had been given.
Yeah, both of these articles say two different things. Let me pull this other article back up. I can already tell it's freezing.
Maybe one's a generic of the...
Yeah, that's possible.
Maybe one's a generic of the other. One gave the generic name and one gave the brand name of the drug.
That is definitely a possibility.
Because they're awfully close, so it could be a definite possibility. Lisa said Sefton is the brand name.
Arctic was right with the other name. The Cephiril.
The cefprozil.
I don't know. Yeah. Then there's right. So Lisa might be right on the difference of the generic, or you both might be right, Arctic and Lisa, about the generic and the not generic. And guys, half of my comments just disappeared, so no disrespect if you put something in there. I'm not ignoring you by any means. It's just that I'm probably fixing to change computers.
Tracy, she's from Kentucky, but she's born in Kentucky, Nashville, lived in Nashville by way of Nashville by the grace of God, and she now lives in Florida. Did I get all that right, Mom?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
I did good.
Yes, you did. I'm not real, so that's good. Okay, moving on. I just didn't want it to be all choppy because I was straight putting the switch computers. I'm not gonna put up with that shit tonight. Reported. Okay, we talked about that. Text to the mom about the CCTV reportedly showed him pacing up and down the hotel foyer, looking out the windows and hiding in a lift. It's believed that Lars left the hotel at 1 a.m. Before returning. It's not known where he went in the meantime. This was described as relaxed, normal by one pal before the pair parted ways at the airport. The next morning, the mom's fears were eased when he texted her to say he had made it to the airport terminal. Okay. Lars needed the all clear to fly from the airport. Doctor, who reportedly described him as nervous and erratic, as well as mistrustful of the medicine that he had been prescribed. The medic, Dr. Kostov, has been quoted as saying Lars began to tremble while an instruction worker entered the room and cried, "I don't want to die here. I have to get out of here." At this point, Lars reportedly leapt to his feet and fled the airport. Footage shows him sprinting as fast as he could out of the terminal. He passed the boarding gates, check-in desk, and the baggage drop zones. Lars jumped over a fence outside, disappeared into the forest, to be seen again. Police turn up. No concrete leads, and a private investigator hired by his family failed to find any trace of Lars. It has never been established what triggered his paranoia, drugs, and a reaction to his medication, a head injury from the fight, undiagnosed mental health condition, or genuine threat from unknown attackers. One ray of hope for Lars' family came in December of 2016 when police in Brazil tweeted a photo of a bearded, scruffy dressed man wandering barefoot along the highway, but he was later identified as a missing Canadian aid worker. In July, will have been 4 years since Lars went missing. His fate is unknown. Dark conspiracy theories circulate online about what became of Lars in Bulgaria, a country with high levels of human trafficking and organized crime. The mystery has been the topic of rumors, Reddit threads, discussions on Facebook, and official investigations, but no one is closer to working out what happened to YouTube's most famous missing person. I don't generally share Reddit posts because they tend to be toxic. And you never know what the hell's going to pop up on your screen in a Reddit post.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Reddit's a talk about a cesspool.
Reddit is the new 4chan.
Dude, Moon, I'm telling you what, like I was covering I wasn't covering the night that me, you, and Dutchie were on your panel, Arctic, and we were talking about Caleb Harris. And
Mm-hmm.
so that night after we got off the panel, here I go pilfering around on Reddit, and my lord, man, it's a good damn thing we didn't have Reddit pulled up on screen.
Yeah, you probably came across the same photos I did.
I was like, what the hell? Yeah, honey, I'm in Florida. I'm safe from the snow and the floods and all that stuff. Kimber's got snow. Arctic, you got snow?
We had snow, and don't ask me how it melted because it was like 9 degrees this morning, but the roads are clear now, so.
My snow's gone too. All of our snow's gone. I mean, it's in the yards, but it's gone off the roads. It's still in the grass, but I mean, it was gone off the roads yesterday, and then I told you it flurried last night. It was supposed to flurry last night, and we got about 2 more inches last night, and Then today it was gone off the roads, and it was cold, but the sun came out, so it's gone now.
Damn. So note to self, don't ever take this antibiotic if it's prescribed to you. Apparently it causes seizures, feeling anxious, nervousness, confused, and a sense of dread. Why would you intentionally put that? Yeah, you're toxic. Bring on the Reddits. Good Lord, Lisa. He was taking the antibiotic because he had a ruptured eardrum and had got the hell beat out of him at a bar in a bar fight.
There are a lot of side effects with all antibiotics. If you look at every medication that you get and you read the side effects, yeah, just saying. Read that. I mean, a lot of these with antibiotics, they're less, like Lisa said, they're less common severe side effects of antibiotics. But I mean, if you read the thing that comes from the pharmacy with the side effects on it, you'll be like, I'm not taking this. So
no, it comes with a damn book. Look, Doodle said she
Yeah.
has 11 inches. I'm
I'm not
personally
touching that.
jealous.
I'm not.
I
Well,
knew you wouldn't.
yeah,
want
I am too. But
11 inches is
That's why
just
when,
gonna put it out there, Doodle. That's a little
Exactly.
jealous. Very impressive, 11 inches.
Exactly, Lisa. My husband has not trying to derail, but my husband has Mike lung disease, and he's on like 3 different antibiotics. So, and he'll be on them for a while, like a long while. But yeah, he's on 3 different antibiotics, and they have 2 of them have some pretty. Well, they all have some side effects, but 2 of them have nastier side effects than others. But the risk of not treating the Mac lung disease is worse than taking the antibiotics.
well, and when my mom was real sick and she had to go into rehab for that couple of weeks, and they had her on some antibiotics. And I guess if you're on antibiotics in a nursing home, there's a real danger of you developing something called C. diff. And she did.
Mhm.
And it was a nightmare. It was that rhinovirus on steroids. I mean, she could not
Ooh.
stop going. Yeah, it was horrible. And we finally figured out what it was. They were able to get her all fixed up. But yeah, if you have any loved ones in a nursing home, just be careful with giving them antibiotics, because apparently it's real prevalent in the nursing home community.
Oh, wow.
Yes, the smell alone is hell. You are absolutely correct.
Mm. I've never heard of that. Damn. Hospitals too. Ooh. See, that's why I don't people. It's not safe to people anymore. It's really not. All right. So we've talked about enough the CCTV footage that I'm going to pull this up and see if I can get it to work for us here. Hopefully, if it doesn't, if it glitches out real bad, I will switch computers. But hopefully we won't have that issue. Hospitals in general. Smell like nothing else you can imagine. Hi, Brian. It's just antibiotics since we've been in a nursing home. It's horrible. Ooh. Ooh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That's terrible. All right, so I'm going to turn off my camera, because if I don't, the video's probably going to act completely just like, nope, not going to play for you. I don't care. Okay, so this channel will also be in the description. Shout out to them. This hurts my heart. Missing people, CCTV footage. They have 256 subscribers. Like, that's really sad. 5.8 thousand views. But 256 people took the time to hit the subscribe subscribe button.
See,
Very
I
sad.
hate that. I hate that.
Very
If you're
over
going to
it.
go watch someone's content, at least sub up to them, help them grow their channel, and share their videos out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Like if I had as many subscribers as I've had views, like I've got videos with 30,000 views on them. It's like, damn, man, it takes 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, people. I put out good stuff. We laugh. Talk about Doodle's 11 inches and Lisa's vag rejuvenation and all kinds
My
of
snoring.
stuff. Kimber snores.
Don't you even be telling people that. No, I got to mute. My husband's looking at me. Listen, he's not even going to tell you about my.
She mutes herself because Dawn was finna set her ass out. Yes, Lisa, we always want to hear something interesting. Molly, you only have 2 inches? Poor baby. Doodle has 11. She could probably share at least 6 with you. That's why jails, hospitals, nursing homes keep it so cold. They try to kill infections to bring on spread. That's why I wear a hoodie to any of those places. I try to stay out of jail when possible. I mean, what else would you want from a channel, right? We bring all the things. We bring all the things. And then we also talk serious and talk about cases and missing people and do all the things. To treat it, they often use stool from household members to transplant into the patient to replenish the normal flora. That's quite interesting. You love Arby's and you missed it. Brian, I'm lost, honey. I don't know what you're talking about with Arby's. I don't think there's any audio on this. When I checked it earlier, I don't think there was any audio, but if there's music, I will have to mute it because YouTube hates me. It is serious business. Serious business. With love and Miss Lisa. The bright side is it wasn't just a tip. I have totally off subject, but I have a picture. I think it's behind me. It's somewhere. It's probably buried behind me. And it's bullet casings, and it says, I promise, just a tip. But again, I don't have it in my background because YouTube hates me. I thought it was an Arby's roast beef. I know nothing about said roast beef, Brian. Because I'm going to start anticipating something Arctic might say.
Nope, because I
Lord
won't have
Jesus.
anything to do with just the tip.
Oh, long.
I love it. Love it. I got a couple of different versions of this. Oh, they could have wiped their damn lens off. This is him, though, in the bright yellow shirt, so I don't think he's going to be very hard to spot in either one of these clips. Looks like he's just walking normally to me. He's over here. I know this is really. I'm not sharing my. Yeah, I am. So he's right here. And this blur is not me. That's the video itself. It's a recording of a recording. This is him again. And then if memory serves me, we're going to see him coming from this way. Yep, there he goes, running like hell out. And then this is outside. Right here. Well, you guys can see the red circle, I guess. I don't need to follow it with the mouse. And that was the end of that one. And then I have another one. Was it this one? I think it was this one. Yeah, because I titled them. I should probably look at my notes. Did that paste that for us? There we go. No, that's going to pull up the same video. My apologies. Try this again. Okay, so this one's 44 seconds long. Yep. No, that's the one that had music. And I don't have this sped up or anything. This is CCTV that's uploaded. See, he looked like he was walking calmly there, and then all of a sudden picks up to a jog. I'm not going to say a run, but a jog, like a determined jog. That'd be the best way to describe it.
Yeah, like somebody, he was walking hurriedly like somebody was after him.
Mm-hmm. And that was so fuzzy, you really couldn't tell if he was like looking behind him, because I tend to look for stuff like that. If they're like looking behind them, watching to see if somebody's following them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh my Lord, Arctic.
Hey, you asked for an explanation. I'm going to give it.
In the Chili's dumpster. Don't forget the Chili's. I will never be able to eat it in Chili's ever again. Look at Brian Arctic. We got freaky faces. Always the best chat on YouTube. I'm partial to you guys. Look, you got Doodle over here yakking. Oh my goodness. All right. The curtains. Oh my Lord, y'all. All right. And then, of course, everybody's favorite YouTuber. And I will drop his link in the chat as well. But he always make these like fun, and I love the way he abuses the like button. So I really wanted to showcase his video. It's not very long.
Love me some
So
Mr.
we will
Ballin.
take a look. I love Mr. Ballin. I do. Like, he was one of my first channels. Him and Mile High Podcast. Like, they were two of my very, very first channels. And Christina, I just forgot her name. She's a blonde-headed chick. I really like her a lot too, because she does like the really serious, like talks about the case, and then at the end of the video, like she puts in what she thinks had happened. I cannot think of her name to save my soul, and I follow her on every social media. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is it Christina
I know Kendall Ray
Randall?
does that. Oh, Christina Randall. Yeah, I've she stopped posting for the longest, and I lost track of her. I don't know what happened with her, but she's posting again. So
They built a house. They actually, she has two channels. She has her Patreon too, but she has two channels, and on her other channel, they built a house from the ground up, like her and her husband. It is amazing, but she took a break while they were getting the house together. So, right, shout out to the blonde creator chick.
Doodle
I knew
is
her
doing
name would come to me eventually.
Doodle is doing a fabulous job of modding tonight. Shout out to the blonde creators.
I'll tell you who I really like. If y'all haven't listened to him or checked out his channel, go to that chapter. A guy named Mike. He's from Ireland, and he does some amazing coverage of these cases.
That chapter?
Yep.
I'm going to put him in my notes over here and move it to the other page. Because if I put it on that one, it'll end up in the description, that chapter. I'm going to check him out. I always like good channels, especially a good channel that's referred by one of you guys. I'm definitely going to check it out because I love good channels, because there's so many trash channels that's not worth watching and shouldn't have channels, but that's a different life. All right, so I got Mr. Ballin up here. We're going to take a Mr. Ballin gander here real quick. If you haven't already, please take the time to hit the like button. If you're in the chat, I know you're subscribed because I turned it on subscribers mode only. I don't do that to be ugly or mean. I do that so my mods can enjoy the chat and not have to deal with a bunch of trolls. We do have our normal trolls that come in here, and we love our trolls. And yes, I won't forget the walking catfish. I promise, Lisa. That chapter, let's give it a go.
Yep.
Is Mikey in here?
No, Mike.
Our Mike?
Mike from that chapter.
Oh, Mike. Oh, my bad. My bad. I thought she meant our Mikey. All right, this is about 15 minutes long. Of course, as always, I will stop and commentate in between the video. It's just the right thing to do. And we'll pull this up real quick, which I never had him hit me before, but I got hit last night. So this is a copyright disclaimer under Section 107, the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use purposes for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research. Fair use is permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, nonprofit, educational, or for personal use on tips, balance, and favor of use. Channel's not monetized, so we're not getting tips or anything else over here. YouTube that likes to block my videos. Just gonna put that out there.
What's up, guys? Mr. Ballin here. You probably know me from TikTok, where I tell scary stories and kind of interesting, true crime stories, that kind of thing. But hopefully you're starting to look at my content on YouTube. Granted, it's not nearly as robust as what I have on TikTok, but I'm genuinely making a push to make this YouTube my primary platform to tell my stories on. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to do at least one, or I am going to do at least one video on YouTube a week, if not two. And as I get, frankly, better at creating the videos, I will try to do more as well. So please subscribe, turn on notifications. I'd really appreciate it. So today we're going to be covering the disappearance of Lars Mittank. So this particular case is not new. It's been covered a ton on YouTube, on Reddit. I mean, it's everywhere. But the reason it's so popular, or I should say it's drawing so much interest, is because there's this fascinating video that goes with the case. Basically, Lars, who disappears, we see his final moments on a closed circuit TV camera at an airport, and there's multiple camera angles. It's right in front of you. It's not hard to see what he's doing. There's multiple witnesses. There's so much information around kind of what led up to this, from doctors, from his friends, and then there's this video. Like, there's just so much information, and no one knows what happened or where he is. So let's dive in. On June 30th, 2014, Lars Mittank and 4 of his friends, these guys are all in their 20s, they left northern Germany, where they were all from. They lived, they worked there, and made their way to Bulgaria. They were staying at a very popular seaside resort called the Golden Sands, and they were just going to have a nice vacation, a nice week-long vacation. They get there, they check into their hotel, and promptly begin to relax. And everything is going great. They're, going to the clubs, they're going to the beach, they're eating good food. I mean, it's going the way they had hoped it would go until the end of the trip. So on one of the last days of their trip, July 6th, Lars is at a local bar, and they're watching a soccer game. And something happens where Lars basically voices his interest in one team, and the locals that were in the bar, they were supporting the other team. And so they start, arguing, but it escalates really quickly. It turned into a full-blown thing. His friends come in, they pull him out. There was no physical violence in the bar. It was just an altercation that could have gone to blows, but it didn't. Later that night, Lars and his friends, they're getting ready to shut it down for the night, and they go to a McDonald's. And so Lars doesn't want to go in, so he stays outside, and his 4 friends go in to get some food. When they come out, Lars...
Tax Act is designed to help you get...
Not going to do your ad.
I know that we need to get you up to speed, but
Oh, you think you're cute? You're going to hit me with 2? Negative.
Lars is gone. And so they're sitting around waiting for him, and he's nowhere to be found. And they say, okay, well, maybe, he went back to the hotel. Perhaps he just wanted to crash early. So they go back to the hotel, and he's not there. And so they kind of are faced with this decision of like, well, what do we do? And they're like, well, he's an adult. I'm sure he's fine. And I bet he'll turn up soon. So they just kind of write it off and say, Lars will come back. And so they go to bed. When they get up, Lars had returned, and he had this kind of bizarre story about why he was missing. He said that this group of men who he thought were either Russian or locals, so Bulgarians, had attacked him, and he was convinced that they had been sent after him by the people he had been fighting with in the bar over that soccer game, that they had kind of ordered a hit on Lars. And that was his whole story. And so, his friends are looking at him, and they're like, why did you leave? If you had been fighting with them, wouldn't it have occurred like right outside the McDonald's, and we would have come out and found you? Like, you had to have gone somewhere for this to happen, or they had to like entice you to go somewhere to leave the McDonald's. And then like, how long did this attack take? Because this is like, midnight, let's say they're at McDonald's, and you're not back at the hotel for, 4, 5, 6 hours. Like, the time didn't make any sense. But ultimately, they kind of decided that, Lars just had a weird night. He's back now. He is safe. So let's just write it off. He was attacked, but we're leaving here today anyways. Lars said that he got hit in the ear during the scuffle with these 4 assailants. And so just to be safe, they said, Lars, you should go to the doctor. You should just get it looked at before we fly home. So Lars goes to a doctor who examines him, and he looks in his ear, and it turns out Lars has a perforated eardrum. And, at first, the doctor actually suggested surgery, which Lars refused. He didn't want to do surgery in Bulgaria. If he was going to do surgery, he would have done it back home in Germany. And he instead goes for the antibiotic that this doctor prescribes him, which is called cefuroxime. So here's an image of it. You can see it for yourself. So he gets this antibiotic, and the doctor tells him that, flying, because he was scheduled to fly home with his friends back to Germany that night, flying could be problematic for someone with a perforated eardrum, because the change in air pressure as you're flying could potentially make the damage to your ear worse. And so the doctor suggested that you don't fly home with your friends tonight. Instead, you delay your trip home a couple of days, and you just kind of let your ear, I guess, recover a little bit before you fly. So Lars goes back, and he tells his friends what's going on with his ear and what the doctor said. And their first thought is, well, we'll stay with you. We'll stay here with you. We'll all delay our flights, and we'll fly home together in a couple of days. But Lars was adamant. Maybe he was just trying to be a good friend and not make them worry. He just said, look, I'm going to be totally fine. You guys take your scheduled flight tonight. Go home. I'm fine. I'll get a cheap hotel. I'll stay here for a couple of days, and then I'll make my way home. It's not a big deal. So Lars and his 4 friends, they take off for the airport. His friends go into the airport and fly home to Germany. And Lars goes to look for a hotel near the airport, because he's only going to be delaying his trip a couple of days, and he'd rather just be close to the airport. So he finds this cheap hotel called the Hotel Color. And so this is really where Lars's behavior starts becoming totally bizarre. So around midnight, Lars calls his mother, and he tells her that she needs to turn off all of his bank cards. Like, shut off my credit card, shut off my debit card, turn them all off. And she's confused, right? Like, she's trying to make sense of what he's saying, but there wasn't really a good reason for why he was saying this. And then he hangs up. And so she's kind of left with what's going on. Then at 3 a.m., so a few hours later, he calls her back. And now he's whispering. and he's clearly terrified. In fact, Sandra Mittank, his mother, would later in an interview after this whole case really blew up, would say to a German TV station that through the phone, she could tell that her son was terrified. This was not an act. This was like, he is terrified. He's fearing for his life. But he calls her at 3 and he's like, there is a group of men trying to attack me. They're gonna kill me. And he was 100% convinced of it. She, Sandra, later say that she wished she had asked questions of her son. This behavior was so uncharacteristic of him that I think his mother just kind of was like, okay, we're gonna get through the night. I'll talk to my son tomorrow. He's coming tomorrow anyways. But it didn't happen. So finally, after that phone call at 3, he texts his mother a little bit after that, asking her about the antibiotic and prescribed. And he's asking her what it is. He's listing the name, which again is cefuroxime 500. And he's asking her about it like he has no idea what it is. And she's like, that's a very commonly prescribed antibiotic that lots of people prescribe. They gave it to you. Investigators would later speak to staff at the hotel, and they would review the hotel's footage, their CCTV footage. And between the first phone call to his mother at midnight and the phone call at 3 a.m., Lars had actually been pacing the halls at around 1 a.m. He'd been pacing up and down the halls, and he was ducking into an elevator and hiding. And then at some point, he had left for about an hour and then came back, and no one knows where he went. At 6 a.m., Lars was dropped off at the airport via a taxi, and investigators would speak to the person who rode that taxi with Lars, and they would say that he seemed a bit off. They said that his pupils were very dilated. He gets to the airport and he texts his mother that he's arrived at the terminal. At this point, his mother confirmed that his flight had been booked, and she suggested to him that he should go talk to the airport doctor and just get his ear looked at one more time before he flies home. And I think on some levels, she just wanted a health professional to see her son, just because the behavior he had shown over the past 12 hours was just totally out of character. The CCTV cameras capture Lars walking into the airport, seeing this doctor, and then I'll get into what actually happens. So on camera, and you're going to see it in a minute, Lars goes into the airport. So his mother's told him that he needs to go see a doctor, and he does that. He walks over to where the doctor is, and he goes inside. Everything seems totally normal. That doctor would say that he was pleasant, but as he was being examined, the doctor looked in his ear and said, "Yep, everything looks okay. You can fly home." But the doctor would say that it was clear that Lars, he was paranoid about something. The doctor didn't know what it was. That he has no context, but he could tell that something was going on. He was fidgety. He was a little bit nervous. And then when a construction worker came into the doctor's office, he had on a construction, bright, reflective vest. They were doing some renovations inside of the airport, so this is fairly normal. And apparently this construction worker, was actually working on the doctor's office, and he stepped in to maybe ask a quick question. Lars sees this construction worker, and this is actually, I think this is off camera. You see that he's in the office, but you don't see this interaction. And something happens where, this guy triggers a full-fledged flight response, where Lars drops everything he has, leaves his luggage, and starts yelling, "I don't want to die, I don't want to die," and sprints out of the airport. This is all on camera. You're going to see it in a second. And he leaves the airport. He's just kind of looking around. He doesn't really know what he's doing. And he kind of like jogs his way across the parking lot. And he gets to a big barbed wire fence, instantly scales it. The barbed wires don't seem to affect him. And he disappears into the woods, never to be seen again. So since his disappearance, there's only been, one unvalidated sighting of him. It was a year later by a trucker who really didn't have much information about him. He just said that he picked up a guy that was like barefoot walking on the road, who later on this truck driver would look at the news or something and would say, oh, that looks like Lars Mittank. But that's unconfirmed. Other than that, we have no idea what happened to him. A couple theories about what might have happened. The first one is that perhaps there was a side effect of this antibiotic that he was given by this doctor in Bulgaria. But there's a couple huge issues with this. The first one being Lars never filled his prescription. The doctor, when he went to the airport, was able to see his records, and he had not filled it. So he didn't have the antibiotic. But even if he had, this is one of the most commonly prescribed antibiotics that, the percentage of people that have any sort of side effect is it's like less than 1%. So it's possible, but he never filled his prescription. So that seems like that's kind of out the window. The other is, especially if you look at the mydriasis that he was.
Okay, again, this is why I love Mr. Barlin. So he never filled the subscription. Good grief, words are hard. He never filled the prescription. So that throws the theory out the window that it was a side effect from this. And I don't feel bad at all now that Mr. Barlin could not pronounce the freaking antibiotic either. That's very strange.
Yeah.
So, but could he have had a concussion from where if he actually did get in a fight with these guys, could he have had a concussion? Because that would cause, if he was walking around with a concussion, that would cause the dilated pupils. Concussions do cause dilated pupils. So he could have had a concussion.
That's certainly a
UK
possibility.
article said that.
And it's also a
And that UK
possibility
article
that
said that he had the ruptured ear.
But why would one doctor said he had a perforated eardrum, but the doctor at the airport told him his eardrums he was fine, he was okay to fly.
I also wonder if while he was at that bar that he was at, because they had mentioned something that's where he got into the fight, if someone put something in his drink when he was at the bar.
True, Arctic.
Especially with it being a high human trafficking area.
Right.
Which you ain't gonna catch me in Bulgaria. Sorry, I ain't got no friggin' business in Bulgaria. I've been to Jamaica and Mexico, and that's the extent of my out of the country shenanigans. Concussions can also cause psychosis, and so can a brain injury. And like when Craig got his brain injury, his brain injury was on his optic nerve. So his eyes spread this way, both of them. He couldn't see for like 3 weeks. He couldn't see. And people want to take advantage. Look at those who take easy advantage of. Yeah, and I mean, in these high trafficking areas, human trafficking areas, and that's not, and I'm not just picking on Bulgaria. I mean, I live in Florida. This place is one of the 3 highest, besides of Tennessee and California, for human trafficking. Thinking more than a blown pupil may a brain bleed. That's a very good possibility. But while players go through it, and boxers too. We're almost through this. I'm going to let this run.
Was experiencing in the taxi cab with the highly dilated pupils, the hit to the head, his ruptured eardrum, that perhaps he suffered like a traumatic brain injury, like a concussion, that was leading to somewhat erratic behavior. And I'm by no means claim to be a medical professional, but typically if you see side effects of a head injury, it doesn't present itself immediately and like super aggressively. It's usually over the course of time, your behavior changes, or at least a couple days later, they present. It's very rare that you would be struck on the head and be a totally different person, but it is possible. Another theory is that even though Lars did not have a history of mental health issues, and neither did anybody else in his family, that the fight he got into where he was attacked could have triggered some sort of psychotic break that was so stressful that he lost his mind. That is certainly possible too. So weeks turned into months, turned into years, and despite the unvalidated sighting, I mean, no one has any idea where Lars is. He was an outdoor enthusiast. He was definitely competent in the outdoors, not like a survivalist or something, but he definitely was not, out of his element out in the wilderness. And so some thought perhaps he just wanted to start a new life, and he ran off into the woods and is living it out there. But the family, the Mittank family, they hired a private investigator. I mean, they pulled out all the stops to scour the area and look for him, but there's no signs that anybody is like living in the immediate proximity to the airport in the wilderness there. And there's no body, there's no anything. He's just gone. I hope one day they're able to find Lars, for better or worse, just closure for his family. So that's going to do it. I'd love to hear your theories in the comments about what happened to Lars and where you think he might be. What do you think might have caused this? Please let me know. Also, I'm going to be posting at least one of these types of stories, these kind of interesting true crime, scary kind of stories on YouTube going forward. So I'd love it if you subscribed and turned on notifications. Also, please follow me on TikTok. My handle is Mr. Ballin. I tell a story almost every day on that channel. Also, I'm on Instagram. My handle is John Ballin416. You can DM me there. I'd love to chat with you there. And that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for your support.
And he has a Discord too. I'm in his Discord. It gets pretty interesting in there sometimes. Well, that just like threw me for a whole loop. How we just read, 3 articles? And they all pushed towards the fact that he'd been taking this antibiotic. Oh, shit. Arctic fell out the window. He'd been taking this antibiotic, and now knowing he didn't take the antibiotic, that throws out the whole theory of side effects from the antibiotic. And Dandy asked how Mr. Sunshine's doing. He's just as ornery as ever. And I think about you often too, love. I'm so glad to see you back in here. So honored to have my OGs in here. Miss Barbara's in here. What did I miss that Mr. Bear said? Yes, and people take advantage of for those who are easy to take advantage of based on the severity of it. Yeah, the head injury, the head thing, that's really strange. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Now I'm all torn because I was on board for the side effects causing, psychosis, paranoia. It's quite terrifying that an antibiotic could do something like that. I could see like a Prozac or something like that, but and just disclaimer, we are not medical or law enforcement. We're advocates, channel holders, YouTube creators. We're not giving anybody medical advice. We are not investigators or imitators. My investigator video wouldn't play, or it might have played. You guys might have seen it on your side, but it's not popping up on my side. Okay, so if the hater popped up, then good deal. It didn't. I'm sorry, y'all. Tomboy says antibiotics can cause paranoia, hallucinations. That's how we found out my mom was allergic to top sulfa drugs. I'm allergic to erythromycin. I break out in hives. Andrea Robinson played for the Stills took his own life. Chronic traumatic. That word that Dago put in there from being concussed also had paranoia issues. Do we know the size of the area he jumped into over the fence? In one article, it says a field. But after I get through this last article that I have pulled up here, we can go and have Google Earth. We can go and creep around the airport and see if we can't figure out which filled it. I'm just going to warn y'all, I don't do very good at driving the Google Earth, but we will definitely give it a try. So everything's going to freeze. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Damn computer. I'm froze on my side. There it goes. Go ahead and get the other one pulled up here because I got a feeling this one's going to crap out on me. That way I can just bounce back on. Because I got a gut feeling it's going to boot me. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, the other computer decided to freeze. So I'm going to jump over here. So as long as you guys can hear me and I don't sound like I'm yelling at you. Let's see, where was that? So you guys saw the investigator. That's good because I couldn't see it on my side. Perforated eardrum from an accident. Ooh. That's terrible. Let me put this, let me send this to myself in Discord because the other computer, I think, has about had it, y'all. I think she's about done her last stream. Yeah, that does suck. I'm sorry for prayers. Ladybug is going nuts. Why, Brian? Thank you, Mom. That would be great to see some mapping. Yeah, we can definitely do mapping. Go look at Discord. Traumatic head injury also. My mom was talking to her sister that had passed away about 15 years prior. Wow. Where was this at? The airport. It was Varna, Bulgaria. Crashing and walking into walls. That's not good, Brian. Is she deaf or blind? I have a dog that's deaf and going blind, and he just does his own thing most of the time. Oh, that's good that she laid down. Let me send this to myself in Discord, and that mouse will not work that computer. Let's try it with this mouse. that and a 10, I'm just going to start doing streams on this one, I guess, because the other one I'm getting pissed off about having to jump in between. It's not enjoyable at all. I'd love to be her buckle up, everyone, like Stefan for the Grizzlies. That's okay. I'd love to be your buckle up, everyone, like Stefan for the Grizzlies. You want Grizzly True Crime? Yeah, I'm not against mentioning other channels in here at all. Good channels, bad channels. I mean, we talk shit, we shout out. It's the front porch. You're perfectly fine mentioning another channel. Always and forever. I don't mind another channel being brought up at all. All right, so I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna move it over here. Thank you guys for being patient. I'm sure you're probably getting used to me having to switch computers, so it's become a normal event.
Why don't you just go live with your MacBook to begin with?
That's what I'm going to have to start doing, because having to switch in between is just pissing me off. And the main reason why I don't go use the Mac right off the bat is because all my stuff is on, like all my pictures and my files and everything are on the other one.
Okay,
And
that's understandable.
I need to sit down and transfer everything over to this one. And see, this is a modded version of a MacBook. So like the side I'm on right now is Apple. It's the Apple side of it, but Minnie built this. So you can hit like control something, a bunch of buttons at the same time, and it changes the computer into a Windows computer. And that way it looks just like my other computer. It's just, it's just that all my stuff is over there. Was the fence on the airport property? Yeah, you'll see like some concrete pylons. They look like pylons in the fuzzy CCTV down a sidewalk. I don't think it mentioned what terminal it was. Let's see. Turn my camera off. Just put everything on a stick and transfer that way. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Because when I first started using this one, it was when the trial started for Harmony, and I could not find for the life of me my pictures. So like they're all over the desktop. Like if I was to share the whole screen and show you guys my desktop, it's crazy. There's pictures all over it.
See,
Varna,
I've got a 1 gigabyte SSD for my computer, and that way, whenever I save everything, I just put it on that external drive. And if I ever have to change computers, all I gotta do is plug it into the damn USB drive. So.
Oh, that's a good idea, Arctic. That's a good idea. I've got one around here somewhere. Are we buffering Wisdom? Hopefully it won't for long. As I grab what I need to off this other computer and send it to myself. I might look at this again for Molly. It's probably be easier just to do it like this. Molly, I'm gonna send you a CCTV. That way you can have to pay for whatever magic you're working over there on that side. One more article here I want to start. Super interesting. I'm from the big screen because the here. I don't know if I'll be able to read it. I might be able to read it. Close this out. Okay, this is Mel. scene. The mystery of most missing person on YouTube. He ran out of an airport terminal terrified. CCTV recorded him, but he's never been seen again. Even thousands of YouTubers and readers foiled. Get off there. Come in, man. I want to watch your love story. Dude. Let me try that again. Well, when you get used to using something and then have to switch over to something else, it's a whole new, that's why I haven't rushed to start doing lives on this one, because, okay. So on July 8th, 2014, just after sunrise, 28-year-old Lars arrived at an airport in Bulgaria to catch his flight home from Germany. He stepped out of a taxi, picked up his bags, walked into the departure halls. Then, in a flash, he ran the terminal without his luggage as someone was frightened and possessed. Well, that's a little rude. He stopped at the main entrance for a brief second, ran across the parking lot, climbed over an 8-foot barbed wire fence, and disappeared into the woods and into the blank and was never seen again. It was the final moments of Lars' vacation, the first time he had been abroad. Him and his friends, 5 former schoolmates, all in their 20s, since the previous week in Varna at a beach resort that sprawls across along Bulgaria's Black Sea coast. The group had booked a flight for Hamburg, Germany, 1,200 miles northwest of Varna for later that day. From there, it was a short train ride to Ilzelt in the north of Germany, where they all grew up, lived, and worked. The week went by really fast. Paul Romanen, one of his friends, told German television in 2016, "We were relaxed on the beach. We played pool, played football, and went clubbing. He relaxed. He was in a good mood." I noticed he didn't eat much, added Tim Schultz, who was also on the trip. He had a bowl of soup, a small plate of salad, and that was it. Nothing else ever struck them as odd. By all accounts, Mittank was just a regular guy. He was a football fan. He supported his local team, the Green Whites. He wore Adidas t-shirt and scruffy sneakers. He had plenty of friends and a girlfriend and a decent job at a local power plant. He always visited his parents. In fact, after his dad's stroke, he'd helped out around the house, and after work essentially was there. Was nothing unusual about him. Here's another picture of him in an Adidas shirt, and I guess that's a McDonald's bag or maybe one of their restaurants from over there. And I'm not really sure what that is. It kind of looks like a cheese grater and some jelly. But after the group checked out of their hotel at noon, Lars made an announcement that he had changed his travel plans. He had gone to the hospital earlier that morning, and a couple days before he had ruptured his eardrum during a night out. A change in the cabin air pressure could have made it worse, so he had to stay put for a bit. Doctor's orders. It was no big deal, though, just had a temporary setback. He was prescribed antibiotics, something called that antibiotic, serofloxacin or whatever, and he could fly home the following day. He told his friends to go without him. He said he'd be all right. However, he needed a place to crash in the meantime. The problem was that the high season had nearly every room and nearly every hotel was occupied. Eventually, he did find a place with vacancies, hotel color, and an added bonus, the rooms were cheap and close to the airport. It was around this time he thought his behavior had changed. He called his mom from his room. He was whispering and acting strangely. He told her to cancel his bank cards. He said he was being followed. He looked for a place to hide, and then he hung up. I thought, God, my son is in danger, and that was Sandra, his mother. I could hear his heart pounding over the phone. He said people were trying to rob and kill him. Later that night, he texted about the antibiotics, which doctors routinely prescribe for ear infections. He wanted to know what serofloxacin 500 was. Why did he text me about those tablets? Sandra asked on German TV. After Lars disappeared, the police checked the hotel's security cameras. They found him pacing up and down the foyer and looking out a window, hiding in the elevator at 1 a.m. He left the hotel for about an hour before returning to his room. No one knows where he went. When dawn broke, he called his mom again. He said that people who were chasing him were getting close. In hindsight, I should have asked him more questions, Sandra said. But his cell phone was running out of battery, so we had our final conversation. Didn't last long. Mittank waved down a taxi and rode to the airport. He texted his mom, I just made it to the terminal. He'd soon be home. Still, he needed an okay from the airport doctor. He walked into Dr. Costa's office, dropped his bags on the floor, and sat in the chair. He was still acting strangely, and it was a standard checkup, Kostov tells me. But he was really nervous and erratic. Kostov examined Mittank's ear, and everything was fine. He could get on the plane, but paranoia festered. He didn't trust the medication he had been given for ear pain. Looking back, the whole thing was bizarre. A construction worker entered the room and the terminal was being refurbished. Mittank started to tremble. He muttered something under his breath, and then he said, I don't want to die here. I have to get out of here. Suddenly, he leapt from his chair and exited the room, leaving his luggage behind. He started running past the boarding gates, check-in desk, luggage drops, and the main entrance across from the parking lot, and the wooded area surrounds the terminal, where there were trees and thick and packed close together. The airport security camera scanned him like a barcode reader later. That's weird. The footage made national news. Every time I see that video, I feel like I want to protect him, Sandra said. I want to rescue him. His wallet, cell phone, and passport were still in his backpack. All he had were the clothes on his body, a yellow t-shirt, jeans, shorts, and white sneakers. 72 hours earlier, the flight took place in The fight took place in a McDonald's after a boozy all-nighter. It was between him and a group of German tourists. It was over football. He was a Bremen fan, and they supported the rival team, Bayern Munich. He stood no chance. It was 4 against 1. His friends were back at the hotel. He said someone punched him in the face. The thump ruptured his eardrum. He got out as quick as he could. I heard about it the next morning. His friend Paul said, I was surprised he was a peaceful guy. Mittank told his friends that he was fine. Mittank told his friends that he was fine, but he had sustained a concussion where symptoms don't show up for a day or two. It might explain his confusion, his anxiety, and his fear of being followed. A forceful blow to the head can result in a concussion, Dr. Jeff Cohen, who specializes in physical therapy and injury prevention at University of Rhode Island. However, odd behavior isn't usually this extreme in a few days after an incident. It takes years for this to happen. After multiple hits to the head over time, perhaps the fight stressed him out, triggered something Sandra had theorized. While emphasizing that Mittank had no history of mental illness, the medication seemed blameless too. He didn't take those antibiotics. He didn't even fill the prescription, Kostov remembers. So his behavior could not have been a result from that. I can't think of a single reason why he left my office in such a panic. I'm still confused. Not to mention, Kostov wonders, why did he abandon all of his belongings? 3 weeks later, a week had passed and another. Mittank had been missing for almost a month. Sandra hired a local private investigator, Andreas Gutig, who jumped on the case. He watched the airport video over and over again. Perhaps police missed something, but they hadn't. He contacted the hospitals, the homeless shelters, perhaps without identification. Mittank was simply a John Doe and then some Hungarian ER, but he wasn't. Gutig traveled to Varna and handled out missing persons flyers. Have you seen this man? 5'9", 180 pounds, average build. No one, however, recognized his blonde hair, blue eyes, or wide nose. Maybe Mittank started over, but there was no reason for him not to go home. He was close to his parents. He wouldn't have done that. He was my only child, so we had a special bond, Sandra said. There were sightings, but the police could not validate them. After a year, he disappeared. A trucker saw Mittank hitchhiking on a deserted road near Varna. There was homeless man in Poland who looked just like him. Someone claimed to have met him in Canada and posted about it on Reddit. Most of the respondents called bullshit. I remember watching a YouTube video about him. Redditor wrote, I'm 99% sure it's him. He looked rough and homeless. And this is the Reddit post here. Mittank was the outdoorsy type. He knew how to hunt, fish, and trap, so he could have survived the elements. Varna gets really hot in the summer. The temperatures reach the mid-90s, and without a water source, it's pretty much impossible to stay alive. A local tells me there's a big river near the airport, but that leaves food and shelter. If he had tried to survive in the woods, he died there. He might have found an abandoned cabin somewhere, but there isn't much to eat in the wilderness. The police searched the area with drones, cadaver dogs, but they found nothing. There was a good chance he'll come back, Sandra said. He just needs my help. 2 years later, in December of 2016, it looked like there was a break in the case. The police in Porto Velho, Brazil, found a man walking on the highway barefoot. He was disoriented, confused. His clothes were rumpled. He had no identification, no past. He didn't know who he was. A photo of him laying in a hospital bed circulated on social media. He looked like Mittank. Same height, same build. Everything was dead on. Could it be him? And then this is the video of the guy that we heard about in the earlier article. This is credit to Sally Fowler, Missing Persons of America. Shout out to Missing Persons of America. Unfortunately not. The man was hospital in a bed. Antonio Philippa, a Canadian humanitarian worker who went missing 5 years before, he reunited with his family. Sandra hopes a similar outcome. If my child is in trouble, then I have to help, she said. I have a feeling that he needs me. Today, nearly 4 years since his disappearance, Mittank may be the most famous missing person on YouTube. 16 million people have watched his last known moments on clickbaity video computations. Not even going to read those out because those are clickbaity. In the comment section, speculations swirled. He planned his disappearance, and I would bet money on it, one person writes. He swallowed drugs and freaked out because he was scared of getting caught, and then later died from an overdose, theorizes another. There were more sinister stories too, and a large part happened in Bulgaria, which was the highest rate of human trafficking in the European region. People are forced into slavery, prostitution, drug smuggling, and have organs removed against their will. I think if he's alive, then he's either being tortured or sold as a sex slave, another commenter guesses. It is definitely not anything good, and he would be better off dead if that were the case. I really feel bad for his mother, and I can't imagine losing my boy and not having closure. Other YouTubers probed the airport security video, freeze frame by freeze frame in the video. Where is Lars Mittank? John Lorden, shout out, choose over the few clues. It's just another missing persons case with the details leading up to Mintank's disappearance. And of course, the video footage takes another level in the terms of people's interest. He says people can watch the CCTV footage at any time. They can see what happened and judge for themselves. I believe that ultimately people want to help each other, and a lot of my comments and on the video support this. The family's missing person deserves to be freed of the pain and stress of not knowing what happened to their lost loved ones. And then here's his video here. Lorden has his own theories as well. It's clear that he was struggling with the severe paranoia, but is it due to the reality of his situation or how he perceived it? If it was his perception, which I think is more likely, we're looking at a psychological break, which of course then begs to other questions. What is the due or the undisclosed or possibility of an undiagnosed mental disorder or a terrible side effect to illegal or illegal drugs, or a combination of both of those factors? There were several different factors that could have been brought on, a Redditor argues. We don't know how serious he hit his head, and from another doctor who inclined to downplay that he was treated with a ruptured eardrum, combine the experimenting with the drugs, alcohol, and the lack of sleep. The three things aren't uncommon for people to experience in their 20s while on holiday. That just doesn't explain enough to the airport video where someone who has lost their bags and running, he remarkably interested in what's going on behind him. Even with psychosis, you would expect him to be extremely concerned about being followed. And see, that's what I said. I still think there's a chance he's alive, at least for a while afterwards, another Reddit thread speculates. The area of Bulgaria can be quite dangerous, and if you're a confused guy in the streets, you might not get noticed or help immediately, especially if you're paranoid and you think that you need to be hiding. So he might have fallen in the wrong crowd, or just someone gotten by on the street where he might be still in the elements, drugs and violence, and gotten to him. Over the Facebook, that's spelled wrong, but I'll add it in the description. It's the Facebook group, has more than 28,000 members. They too trade theories about missing person flyers in different languages, primarily German, Bulgarian, and English. And while every one of them has a different opinion on what happened to Mintank, they share a common goal to bring him home. After all, One post from the 2015 points out this had happened before. On Tuesday, somebody contacted us about who would give us courage and hope with life with his story. We don't want to deprive you of this because it sounds incredible, but true. Hello to all who are brave for Lars. Stay tuned and don't give up. To give courage, here's briefly in my personal experience and similarity, desperate separation in 2010. My brother disappeared from his apartment in July. I reported him missing. I assumed he was in a helpless position. For a long time, there was uncertainty, no evidence, but in April of 2011, I received a surprise call from the police that my brother was found in Spain, penniless and on the street. With the help of the embassy there, I could get him back home. He was all the way from Germany to the south of Spain with just his backpack. He lived on fruits in the forest, water from the rivers, and indeed met nice people who gave him alms. So I think that you consider that a possibility. So that was kind of an interesting, different look at the opinions and stuff. And I thought it was kind of neat that it included the picture of the guy that was reported to be him.
Yep. Yep. I just feel bad because the family got their hopes up and then it turned out to be a false lead.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That sucks, man, because, you know, you get a lead like that. And, I mean, that guy, think about it, scruffy, he'd been out there for a while, you know what I mean? That could have very possibly have been him. You know, thank goodness they were able to find. I was a robot, and I'm sorry, Molly. Yeah, I hope she's okay, Brian.
On the plus side, though, there was a missing persons found because that guy had been missing himself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's what I was going to say, is that that good came out of it, and, you know, his family got closure to know where he was and actually got to bring him home. You know, just looking at that picture of his mom, she looks devastated. And I mean, we see that so many times, but she absolutely looks devastated. Just couldn't imagine it being your only child and knowing that this is completely against his personality, you know. But it's not the first time I've heard that either. In my opinion, everything seems fine. Checks into a cheap room without his friends, and when he's alone, right? Seemed like is when it set in, was when he was alone. Hi, Jody. Thank you so much for coming over. Check Discord. Okay, thank you, Molly. Let me get to the bottom of comments because I couldn't see on this one. I don't have two screens hooked up to it. My other screen's actually behind it. I have an HDMI cord that I actually just ran across a couple days ago, so this one only has one screen on it. So I'm not able. I would like to know more about the fight that he got into. I mean, pretty much in all four articles that I read, four articles that I read, and even on Wikipedia, it really doesn't give a lot of information about the fight, just that it was two rival teams, that, you know, they were there back in rival teams, and that it was a pretty gnarly scuffle. The fight could be key. Absolutely. I mean, those guys could have been following him. It's very possible that he wasn't just being paranoid. You know, those guys could have been following him. But like I said, in the CCTV footage, and this is just my opinion, it didn't look like he was looking behind him. It looked like he was on a mission to get the hell away from the airport.
Yeah, true.
Dago Arctic, could those men have threatened him?
I mean, it's very possible that, I mean, I know that adrenaline runs deep in the sporting community, especially in those foreign nations. So.
Mm-hmm. And then football, that would be soccer over there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that soccer communities are savage. We've seen them like run down on the courts, and they get gnarly over soccer, man. Think hockey's a violent sport? Hell no. The fans in soccer, man, I've seen some crazy videos. Tell Miss White Claw we said hello, Mr. Bear, and I hope she's doing well tonight. So honestly, I wish there was CC. Absolutely, Arctic. We've got 5 different channels and 2 articles that have the airport footage and what the PI said to that one news outlet, the German news outlet, didn't say a damn thing about autocorrect is my nemesis, Wisdom. Yeah, especially being in Bulgaria. You can catch my ass in Bulgaria. Make sure I didn't miss anything. There's PJ. PJ's in the house. Yeah, they do take that stuff super serious. All right, let's see what Molly has in store for us here. She's already got in store for us.
Oh.
I think this third one is going to be the right one. And I'll pull up Google Maps too, just because I'm curious if we can figure out. I'm going to do the entire window because it'll infinity on me. Okay, so we're thinking he came out this way, ran this way, and then jumped over a fence here. Yeah, that's the way it looks in the video. Because I don't think it would have been this little building. I believe it was this big building. It's just kind of hard to tell from top side. And see, that's not a very big wooded area. That's more like a patch of woods to me. Let's see. All right, that's going to take 27 years to load. Arctic, Kimber, do either one of y'all have anything you want to say?
I don't have anything on this. I did send you something in back chat, but it's not related to this. I just thought it was interesting.
Okay. It's not letting me see anything. You'll have to put it in there again, Arctic, because if it was before I switched over, it's not letting me see my own back chat. Isn't that crazy? Oh, here it goes. Oh, shit. Helps if you click on it. I'm not used to the little hand that pops up on this one either. And my other mouse is green. Load first. Oh, this is interesting. Arctic done come in with the tea. While Google Maps is... No, I was asking the way he went on that one, if he went to the structure, to the trees. That's the way it looked like to me, Molly. I'm going to pull it up on Google Earth and see if we can't figure it out. If we have the little man where you can get down and walk around on the street, that would be freaking amazing. Shout out to Arctic. All right, guys. World news. Polish woman claiming to be the missing Madeleine McCann arrested in Britain. The police have reportedly arrested her on allegations of stalking and harassing the McCanns. Wow. A woman for her 2 years that claimed to be missing Madeleine McCann is in police custody in Britain after arriving on a flight from Poland. According to the Daily Mail, Julia Wandelt, I think that's how you say her name, flew from Warclaw to Bristol, England, and was immediately arrested in the airport on Wednesday. The report said that Wandelt, 23, was said to meet a friend who lives in Cardiff, Wales. When police officers took her away, she said the friend, believed to be in her 60s, was also arrested. Damn, she done got somebody in their 60s arrested too. Oh, crazy bitch. I'm trying to find out what happened. It appears that Julia has been arrested at Bristol Airport Wednesday evening, just after she got off the plane. Wandet's media contract, Sajurit Sinclair, told the newspaper the police have been reportedly arrested her on allegations of stalking and harassing the McCains. For 2 years, Wandelt has claimed that to be the child of Jerry and Kate McCann, who went missing shy of her fourth birthday while on vacation with her family in Portugal. May the 3rd, 2007, Wandel attracted media attention in February 2023 when an Instagram account, I Am Madeline McCain, was created. She also appeared in the U.S. on talk shows on Dr. Phil to discuss the possibility of her claims. I couldn't believe he gave her airtime. Like, I'll just stop there. Since my parents in Poland, Kate and Jerry McCain have refused to take a DNA test, my DNA was resulted at a world expert and compared from DNA found in Madeleine McCain's crime scene in Portugal. She wrote on February 10th. She alleges that the independent analysis shows the match of missing child's eyes, teeth, and voice. My actual DNA results show that I'm part British, part Irish, and 100% Polish, and not 100% Polish, she claimed on Instagram last week. That woman is a whole fucking nut, y'all. Who the hell is going to come out and say they're a missing child? And I mean, she grew fast on Instagram too. I don't remember how many followers that she had.
Well, I mean, it's happened before. They've even made a movie about it. The imposter who pretended to be a missing, forget what his name was, but he pretended to be a missing child. And yeah, it's on Netflix. Go check it out.
I'll have to look into that. The imposter. What the hell? Why is this? Oh, because I never used Google Earth on this side. It's trying to get me to do all kinds of weird stuff. I just want to go to the Earth. All right, let's see if I can pull this airport up.
So they arrested that crazy girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's
She's
it, JC. Nicholas Barclay.
JC coming in for the win. You get so many of these down. Well, not down, but you get so many of these cases and names in your head. That's why I'm like, I can't remember shit most. Now, if I see a picture, I'm like, oh, yeah, I do know that case. Do you guys know there's a Varna, Illinois? Varna Airport. Airport in Bulgaria. Hopefully this is the right one. Okay. No, we don't want that. Okay, there's going to be some pop-ups, guys, until I get it on here. Google Earth. Share. All right, we have teleported to Bulgaria, y'all. Oh man, I was so excited for the buckle up guy for map time. Sorry, y'all. It's just like a new job I was wishing to get, if you know. I don't know who the buckle up guy is, but I have my own map guy, if that'll help. I'll pull up my own map time guy. I hope that satisfied your map time, Mr. Bear. He's my Lego guy because I might be obsessed with Lego Batman. I'm Batman. All right. How do I get rid of these? Dismiss. Nope. It's a pretty picture, but we don't want to save that. We want to walk around. Will it let us walk around? Ooh, we can walk around down here. Oh no, that's not what we wanted to do. Oh, this is gonna suck without a mouse. What are these little blue dots? Oh, it's gonna let us go down here. Can you not? Oh my god! What? Oh shit! What? It kicked us off, man. See, and if I plug my mouse up to this one, it inverts, so it's gonna go the wrong way when I try to roll it and move it. Oh, you guys are seeing all the goodies. Get out of there. That's a case from back home. Okay, so we think he ran out here. He ran out here and went left. And it looked like he jumped over right here. All right, let's see if I can work it. Mark it here. Do we think it was this terminal or this terminal with the awnings?
It's a good question.
Let's see. I think this was the longer one. If not, I'll zap the other one to this computer. This is the, yeah, this is the longer version. So he walks up here, he toodles around there for a minute. This is where he runs out. So I'm going to skip it up to where he runs out, y'all. He's going to go back to see the doctor. He's going to bolt out. It's the one with the awnings. Because there's the awning.
Yep.
Okay, so he comes out. Okay, so the little rainbow looking things, whatever that was, that decoration, when it first let me go down here and walk around, see if we can get back to where we were at. So he would have came out this side. But those things looked like they were over here when I came down. Let's go back down and see what happens. Yeah, they're right here. Let me come back over here. Yeah, because it shows him running out over here. Over here on this side. Just let me walk up. No, it won't let me walk up. So he would have ran this way.
I don't know if you have Google Earth pulled up on your for everyone to see, Mom.
Do I not have it pulled up on my thing?
No,
Oh,
it's still showing us YouTube.
okay. Now you guys can see it. So over here on the left-hand side are the rainbow looking. See the things?
Yeah.
So he ran out this way and went this way, I think. Let's see. Share this tab so we can watch him run out. Okay, so I don't see those two red things on the Google Earth. Oh, they're right here. Okay. So where this white car is, behind this white car right here are the two red things. So he did run that way. So let me back out. How do you exit street view? Okay, so we're right here. And he ran out this way. And would have ran this way. So this had to be the fence that he jumped over here on this side. I wish it would let us walk around on the street, but it won't. These little blue dots are as far as I can go down here. That's really strange because it seems like you would be able to walk around the airport.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting you.
Because when I do the little street view guy, it only lets me get down here. So this is the closest little street view dude that will let me use. Oh, that took us inside the airport. No, we didn't want to go inside. Okay. Oh, so if you hit the little touchy pad and hold it down, it lets me move it around. Still can't zoom in close enough. Let me try this. I don't see a fence. There's a crop circle. So it had to have been this wooded area right here. But see, that looks like a patch to me.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's something that he could get lost in.
Mm-mm. And that one article said there was a river nearby. I don't see a river. Yeah, I was thinking like woods over here, like we have. You know, this isn't even a wooded area right here. There's like, I can't read that language, but that looks like another set of buildings. Oh, see, but the river's back here. I do see a river now. The river's behind the airport. That was the opposite way of what he ran. And it appears to go this way. But these look like tended fields to me.
Yeah, I don't know where he could have gotten lost. I don't see anything dense enough for him to have gotten lost in.
Mm-mm. Nope. Me neither. What's this? I don't know how to read their language. That looks like ruins of some kind. Oh no, it's rocks. And see, there's buildings. This one's a head scratcher, Arctic.
Those little plots of land that had woods in them that we were looking at earlier, is there any way to zoom in closer on those and see how dense the trees and stuff are?
Let me see if I can get over there too. Let's see. This out of our way. We want to go back out here. No, I almost took us the wrong way. I'm going to go this way. Because this would have been the patches that he would have ran into. Because he headed this way. And they said he disappeared into a field, but then that other article said he disappeared into the woods.
Is that even woods? That looks like a farm of some kind.
Yeah, it looks like rocks and trees all like in together. And then this other patch over here. Here. There's buildings in it. Because the airport's right here. And we watched him walk by this bush and then come up this way and run up this way.
I think those are crops. I don't think that's trees at all. I think that's a crop.
I wish we could get in there to that. And that's what it looks like to me, is like, see that these are tended fields. You know what I mean? Those are tractor lines.
Yeah.
Like if you were going to cut hay or corn or something. And this is a main road, or a road. I mean, hell, it might not be a main road, but it's a 2-lane road. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to see if it'll let me do what we did with the rocks over there. No, it's not going to bring it up. Damn, I was hoping it would bring it up where we could look and see exactly what it was. It's like this would be trees. That's really the only wooded area I see. What about you?
Yeah.
And this looks like a little town or something. What's this? Yeah, this is a town.
Well, now that. Well, that's maybe a park bench there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It looks like a nice area. I mean, looks can be deceiving. Sawgrass or whatever it's called over there. That's nice. So I wonder if that's like a picture of the river or a stream that comes off of that river. Hmm. That's very, very freaking strange. This is the one we looked at a while ago.
What year did this happen again, Mom?
20.
I think it was 2014, but I'm not sure.
Open up the other one. I couldn't see chat, guys. I'll go back through chat here in just a second. July 8th of 2014.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's so freaking strange, man. I'm with you. Like, I don't see anywhere that he could have just, like, vanished. There's little villages, I guess you would call them over there, all around this airport. That's really pretty. Chickens. No, I don't know for sure if they're chickens. Seeing like if this is a normal patch of woods, that's a hell of a lot better than hell it is here in Florida. It's a lot more open.
A damn shot better than it is here in Arkansas when you hit a wooded area.
Ooh, look at that. Is that a crevice? Possibly a cave?
I mean, if someone fell into that, wouldn't be good.
Mm-mm. Damn, that's a pine cone.
Fort Smith, Olive.
That's crazy. That was a dumpster fire. After I figured out how to use the Googles. Molly for the win. Molly has sent us some more stuff. Molly, what is this? Is this a mine or something? I'll pull this up and then I'll check chat. Let me run the chat. I wonder if Discord. I have to say, guys, that I've been thinking if he did have a brain injury, it might not have been as agile and balanced, capable of running and jumping fences as he was. That's very possible. And like I said, it didn't really look like a run to me. It was more like a determined sprint, if that makes sense. But which, I mean, it could have just been the footage, but I didn't have it slowed down or anything. I was playing it at the rate of speed that it was on there. Can't really tell if he swam or seemed unbalanced. It was weird that he ran behind the one bush and then decided to go completely the other way. Mrs. Whiteclaw, welcome in, honey. Thank you so much for being here. You were perfectly fine. I told you the other night, don't you apologize. You don't owe an apology. We all appreciate you being here. Girly. I got dive bombed, y'all. Drifty, welcome in. Bulgaria. Yes, we're in Bulgaria. Thank you guys for manning the chat. I could not see it. So I said zoom in. I tried to do zoom in, but I'm not good with this MacBook. You guys will, it'll take me some getting used to. And when I hook the mouse up to it, when you don't use an Apple product mouse, it rolls the wrong way and the buttons introvert themselves. So I'm using the Magic touchpad thing, whatever the hell it's called. So once I get used to it, it does seem like a very big area. It'll be a lot different, guys. I wasn't expecting to have to jump over to this one tonight. Last night, the other one worked perfectly fine. Zoom in to go out further in the area he was going. I was trying, Molly. After the accident, I'm not sure Bryce survived his head injury. You talking about Bryce LaPisa? Yeah, this case it's kind of similar to his. The phone call to the mom, leaving everything behind. Please repeat the time of year. Okay, I think I hit that one. We went over July the 8th, so it would have been summertime. And those are 8 to 10 all the time. I have film meds that work on me. I've learned to play mind games where my brain tells me my body doesn't hurt. Oh, well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you for being here. Don't Dox Me says Arctic. I wonder if he fell down while walking. Now that's what I'm wondering. Unless someone grabbed him, that's possible. It seems like Lars would have been able to get out of that easily. Looks like a cave. That's what I was thinking. I'm not too far behind. Sunday Doodles is in the bushes. Girl, you know there's spiders and snakes and everything else in them bushes. Craig says, watch out for the spiders. Could have hid somewhere in the hotel and got stuck if he came back. I just sent you what that is. You rock, Molly. I've got that pulled up. So let's see. Molly broke it. Give us a breakdown picture here. Map Queen. Oh shit. It's 4.65 feet wide and 9.55 feet long.
Holy shit.
So he very well could have fell in whatever the hell this is.
Yeah.
Molly, is that a mine or something? Do they even have mining over there?
I don't know. I imagine they do.
Oh, cool. So yeah, this was him running out over here on this side. Cafe, and then she put us a little Lars in there, and he ran this way. And
Don't dox me. Yeah, Bryce could have fallen someplace, but I mean that I don't know if that's why his body has never been found in all this time. So if he fell and he passed away when he fell, I don't think that happened.
yeah, so this was the river that's behind it. So I guess he could have ran out of the airport and around the backside of it. And the thing about rivers is generally if they go into a river, you don't come back out of them. It's 4165 feet wide, 9.55 inches long. It's not a very big patch. What is that? It looks like a little cabin or something. That's freaking strange. So he ran out this way. The wooded area. Thank you, Molly. There are a lot of wine farms in this area, so people may be very defensive. That's good to know. Sorry, I meant Bryce, California, how he had fallen. Don't dox me, don't be sorry at all. I knew who you were talking about. So did Arctic. We had you. Lots of accidents happen in foreign lands or areas you've never been in. That's true too. Don't dox me. Lars, an outdoor person, we need to know the area size may still run into the wrong person. Absolutely. Bulgaria has copper mines. Thank you, Dago. So they do have mines over there. The scanning technology discover bones from the sky using a drone. ESP rough terrain. That's right. Don't dox me. And there's a really cool program that they don't use that, believe it or not, a college student created. And I think NASA, she works for NASA now, and she came up with a badass program. And they found ancient ruins from helicopters where this scanning program thing that she had come up with, I saw it on, I think it was the History Channel or something. And they were like it was the coolest shit I ever seen. Like it really brought it to life, and it like scans out. And I wondered, I was like, why don't we use that nationally? And then you put your tinfoil hat on, and you think, well, they are using it nationally. That's how Google knows that when you tell somebody you're going to order Domino's and for the next 30 minutes and your ads on Facebook, it's Domino's. That old song, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Kimber, you still with us? Kimber. Did she fall asleep?
She may have.
I bet she fell asleep on us already.
I don't hear her snoring though.
She's muted.
Mm.
They're always listening. If you're going to YouTube search, send it to your... She went night-night. Yeah, I think she passed out on us. Just cover her head up and put her to bed. I just let her sit up and nap. Just let her sit up here and nap. I could be mean and play the drama along. It usually scares the dogs, though. Like, you'll see everybody in chat will go, my dog just went nuts. I don't think I have any other funny ones loaded in here. Other than the Jackass, the Drama Llama. And then, of course,
It's not special.
the church lady.
Good old Dana Carvey.
You just let her sleep. I do too. Oh, thank you, Paula. I have the best mods on the streets. The best community on the streets. I love you guys hanging out here with us and listening to these stories. The church lady is hilarious. It's one of my favorites. Absolutely one of my favorites. We watched, what's that guy's name? The Ricky Bobby guy?
Oh, Will Ferrell.
Yes, I watched a collation the other day of his videos. I was literally in tears. Little clips from Saturday Night Live. I was done. 50 years SNL. Yep. I love SNL. I remember watching it when I was a kid.
Oh, me too. I grew up on SNL.
Mm-hmm. There was something else we were watching earlier. Or we were watching a show and they were watching that show. I don't remember what it was now. But the nostalgia like hit me in the gut. It was something my mom used to watch. Hell, who knows? Who knows? You've watched Step Brothers 9 times? Look here, Craig is a twin, and they remind me of Step Brothers. I swear, I could totally see Craig putting his balls on his brother's drum set. Did you do that as a kid? Have you smoked yourself stupid over there? Hello? Yes,
no,
you
I
did?
said no.
No balls on the drum set?
No balls on the drum set.
Sunday Doodle said yes. Look up Ricky Bobby the Hellcat furry popsicle song. Oh, Lord.
God.
Ricky Bobby the Hellcat furry popsicle song.
Dago, is that movie Saturday Night on Netflix?
Bobby Hellcat popsicle song. Popsicle song. Oh, Lord, y'all. Let me pull up screen share. Let's just hope that Phil one night in chat said, oh, play this song. And the first one was really funny. Pigeons in the Park. And then we pulled up this other song, and apparently I pulled up the wrong song. And you know, it was a horrible fucking song. And my screen and I couldn't get the freaking thing to go off. So I was trying to go over it. It was awful. And then it took like 45 minutes to cut it out of the video. I was like, oh, edit, you bastard, edit.
Oh my God.
Awful.
Oh shit. I would have been so pissed.
Oh, I was like, and Phil's in chat going, wrong song, Mom, wrong song. I'm like, well, fuck, I can't get it to go.
Sitting on the corner in the middle of the summer, just eating my popsicle. Sitting on the corner in the middle of the summer, just eating my popsicle. Sitting on the corner in the middle of the summer, just eating my popsicle. Sitting on the corner in the middle of the summer, just eating my popsicle, and I said it's frozen, but it's melting. Yeah, it's frozen, but it's melting. Yeah, it's frozen, but it's melting. Yeah, it's frozen, but it's melting. Cruising with my lover in the middle of the summer, just riding my bicycle. Cruising with my lover in the middle of the summer, just riding my bicycle. Cruising with my lover in the middle of the summer, just riding my bicycle. Cruising with my lover in the middle of the summer, just riding my bicycle. And I said we're rolling, but we're melting. Yeah, we're rolling, and we're melting. Yeah, we're rolling, but we're melting. Yeah, we're rolling, and we're melting. Sitting on the corner in the middle of the summer, just eating my popsicle. Sitting on the corner in the middle of the summer, just eating my popsicle. Sitting on the corner in the middle of the summer, just eating my popsicle. Sitting on the corner in the middle of the summer, just eating my popsicle. And I said it's frozen, but it's melting. Yeah, it's frozen, but it's melting. Yeah, it's frozen, and it's melting. Yeah, it's frozen, but it's melting.
Greg's over here cracking up. I don't know if y'all can hear. So we're cracking up. Hi, Miranda. Welcome in. Now that's a top 40 hit, y'all.
I was sitting here jamming out to it.
Yeah, I'm over here dancing. It's frozen and it's melting. That's better than the damn song that I played the night. Phil was, because we did a decompression lab, and I played Good Directions and Turnip Greens, and me and Kimber was up here doing karaoke. And Phil was like giving me funny songs to look up. So I'm looking up all these funny songs, and he's like, look up this song. And I don't even want to say the name of it. He was like, look up this song. So I pull the song up, and the guy's like playing a piano, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be cool. You know, this might be fun to watch. And then he started singing, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Stop. Oh, work, you fucking piece of shit mouse. And Kimber's going, Mom. I'm like, it's so freaking stop.
Oh my God! I wish I'd been in here for that one.
Oh God, it was horrible. It was horrible. I was like, no, stop. You pay to hear that?
What a time for me to miss one of your shows. Shit.
Oh God, it was awful. And like I said, and I opened, because I was on a different screen, so I opened up chat, and like all through the chat was Phil going, no, Mom, wrong song. I'm like, no shit. What the fuck have you got us listening to, Phil? I was like, no, this is a true crime advocate channel. I can't have that shit on this channel. What the fuck? So bad. It was so bad. So like for the next 2 days, Phil would come in chat and he'd say, hi, wrong song, Mom, love you. I was like, oh God, that damn song is gonna haunt me forever. The first one was really funny. It was like killing pigeons in the park, but it was funny the way that it was done. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let's look up this one that Phil suggested. Oh, fuck. Stop, pause, kick out, drop out the whole studio. Go away. Get the fuck off. It was I'll have to ask Phil what it was. It was something about a priest. But it wasn't a religious song. Let me tell you right now, it was horrible. Now, how many people is frozen and melting going through their heads now? Well, Craig is over here cracking up. Oh my God. Thank you, Dandy. We needed that. Oh my Lord. Winner. I keep getting dived on. You want to show everybody your pretty sweater? Does her pretty sweater say that? My pretty sweater.
Aw, what a cute pupper.
It's 40 degrees outside and I'm little people. I'm little people. Daddy has crusties, so I'm probably going to leave you. Oh, no, you're going to sit there? Okay. And we're gone. I wish I could think. Oh God, it was horrible. It's Ricky Bobby the Hellcat furry popsicle. Oh God. Yeah, dude. Like she was killing me last night. Like literally, like, oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. But the only thing that she ate that's like outside of her normal diet was goober. You know, the peanut butter and the mixed in the jar. And I
Yep.
thought, oh, this is a cute treat for them because they don't have any real treats. I've got to go back to the store. And I thought, well, I'll just give them the. So I tore the crusties off and like put a little bit on the crusties and gave it to them. Never again. That goes on the list with tuna fish. She does not get that ever again. Doggy warfare. Yeah, it was so bad, dude. It was so bad. And then she made me feel bad because like after I got off the live, she was kind of whining. And I thought, oh, it fucked her stomach up bad. Oh, you want to hug my little baby? I tell you what, if you ever get a Dotson, and that's what she is a dot. Well, she's Min Pin Dotson. If you ever get a Dotson, they're going to tell you, oh, you're getting the sweetest, cutest little baby. They're just the sweetest, cutest little baby. But what you're really getting is not a cute little sweet baby. You're getting one of these. We immediately rip the head off. No, first, I take that back. First, we rip the squeaker out. Then we rip the head off. And then we shred it. And she's got those little razor sharp teeth, so she gets like each puff of stuffing out of it. And takes the stuffing and she'll pull it out and she'll throw it. And she'll pull another piece out and she'll throw it. Like, you're a dick. You're such a dick. So there's like fluffies everywhere. It's like they have Valentine babies right here that they've not gotten yet because she just murdered her baby the other night. So they're on sale at the Dollar General store. So they're hidden over here to be sly about that. So she didn't see it. She's stalking her daddy for crusties. And don't dox me. That's dirty. That's dirty. Oh Lord. Well, there we go. Peanut farts are real, just like cabbage and chili. Dude, I'm telling you, peanut farts are horrible. It's 12 there. It feels like 3. I think it's 40 something here. Hey Siri, what's the temperature outside?
I can't tell your location because of your settings. Where would you like to hear the weather for?
You should be able to. That's creepy. Hey Siri.
I don't understand.
I'm sure you don't. Hey Siri, what is the temperature in Orlando, Florida?
In Orlando, Florida, it's 49 degrees.
It's 49 degrees. She is cute. Your doggy tears up his beds. He's scared of squeaky toys. Oh no.
Well, in Fort Smith, Arkansas, it is 19 degrees.
Ooh, Arctic. I just done climbed inside the fireplace. 14 degrees. Y'all should have seen me when I went back home to Kentucky. I'm a smoker. That's why I turn my camera off a lot. And I told him, I said, when we get up here, I'm going to save money on cigarettes because nobody smokes in their houses. They all vape. And I'm like, oh, no. So I have to go out on the front porch. I'm sucking her down, putting her out, and run back in the house. I can't do a cold. And it was when we went up this last time was when that sonic blast, Arctic blast come through.
Mm.
And no business in that mess.
Yeah, I'm so happy that I quit smoking so that I don't have to go out there and deal with that anymore.
I need to quit. Now we're going to argue with Siri. Siri doesn't understand my accent. So it's usually a constant argument with Siri. There's usually some choice words. Cuss her a lot. Central Wisconsin. I've never been to Wisconsin. Got your first substantial wet weather of the winter today. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Dandy, have you ever been to Uray? I asked Dandy if she'd ever been to Uray. I know you haven't never been to Uray. We went to Uray in Colorado, and when we got there, like when we pulled up to the cabins, I was like, why the hell are there people in bikinis running around in 12-foot snow? The fuck is wrong with these people? And they were like, oh, it's a hot springs over there. Nope. I'm not getting in no volcanically heated water. I am good on that. You were born in Wisconsin? It's supposed to be 40 or 50 next week. Oh, JC's having a heat wave. It's a tropical heat wave. South Dakota, it's 0, but it feels like -14. Oh, negative. Negative Ghost Rider. Negative Ghost Rider. Well, we are running on 3 hours, y'all. I guess I'm going to go ahead and shut her down for the night. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Arctic, for coming up and
well, thank you for having me up.
Thank you so much for bringing this story to me tonight. And because I'll be honest, I was at a loss for what to do tonight. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do another historic one or just do like a mix-up fun live or what I was going to do tonight. But thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. I felt like I'd never heard the case before, but I was in the group. I wonder if I joined the group because it was renamed a missing group, and I bet that's what I did. Because
they do that all the time, so that's probably what it was.
I hunt for flyers, and no disrespect or anything, but it's infuriating when they change they get these groups like really, really big, and then they change the name of the group, and you're looking for the person's group, and you're like, where the hell did their group go?
Yeah.
It's like Maddie's group. Oh, catfish. Shit, I forgot about the walking catfish. I got you. See, Lisa, that's why I said you have to remind me. One of Maddie's big group got paused. Let's see if we can find a video. Walking catfish. Pull it up like this so you guys can see it when it comes up, because this is different than my other computer. Like I said, I'm screen short on this one. I'm not too big to say it's laying behind me. No kidding, y'all. Or not behind me. It's laying behind me. This is a walking catfish. And they travel from one land mass to another to get to water. There was a longer one. Walking catfish in Florida.
This is a walking catfish. It's been rainy here for a few days. This is how he gets around. He's making some headway. There's his face. I don't know if he bites or not, but he is on land. And when it rains here a lot, out here in Davie, sometimes they come onto the land. We don't know why, except that maybe it's too wet where he was. I have no idea. I asked him, he didn't say anything. So my husband's just kind of pushing him around a little bit so you can get a better look at this amazing little critter. And now he moves around.
Oh, he was talking.
Wow.
He was talking. They grunt. They go.
That is wild.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'll get my other. Because it's on my other phone. 'Cause I don't ever use my personal Facebook. But I'll get my other phone and I'll pull up the video I did.
Fish. These fish get their common name from their ability to walk on land. This walking behavior may not be the same way a cat might walk, but the fish uses its fins to move around outside of water. Spines in their pectoral fins offer support while they maneuver over terrestrial terrain. As long as a walking catfish stays moist while on land, it can remain out of water. Along with their sturdy fins, walking catfish have lung-like structures that allow them to breathe atmospheric air. For this reason, they can live in oxygen-deficient places like stagnant swamps, mud pools, ditches, and flooded grasslands. But they also occur in lakes, rivers, and even coastal estuaries. Walking catfish can handle some levels of salinity, so they can live in brackish water. They generally can't survive in water below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but they'll burrow in mud when the weather is too cold. These fish are native to Southeast Asia, and they have been introduced to other parts of the world. In their native range, walking catfish are enjoyed. People can sell them live, therefore fresh, because of their air-breathing ability. In parts of the world where they've been introduced, such as Florida, they're reviled. Walking catfish can quickly take over native fish populations, and they've been known to break into fish stocks where they can wipe out an entire brood. Ironically, walking catfish themselves are threatened by introduced catfish in their native range. It's unknown how long these fish can live, though similar species are known to live more than 10 years in the wild. They reach reproductive maturity at a year old. In their native range, walking catfish breed during the wet season from June to August. They will migrate overland to ephemeral breeding sites like large grassy areas that are filled in with water throughout part of the year. Males and females are approximately the same size, from 9 to 19 inches in length, but females have larger bellies to accommodate their eggs, and males may have spots on their dorsal fins. They are monogamous during the breeding season. A pair will find a divot or cave in which to lay their eggs. The two will form an embrace while mating and go through cycles of releasing and fertilizing eggs. The process can take nearly a day to complete. The eggs are bright orange and there may be up to 9,000 in a clutch. These are guarded by the male. They take about a day to hatch and 3 days to reach independence. At this point, they have tiny barbels that can be seen with the naked eye. Like other catfish, walking catfish use their barbels to sense their environment. These fish spend most of their time at the bottom of their habitat. They are generalists because they'll eat just about anything they come across, from fish to fish eggs, as well as insects, crustaceans, worms, and more. Walking catfish eat it all. Their young eat plankton and advance to larger foods as they get older. Predators to walking catfish include otters, birds like eagles and herons, crocodiles, other fish like loaches, and more. For more facts on walking catfish, check out the links below. Give a thumbs up if you learned something new today. Thank you.
That's a walking catfish.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, when I was standing on the balcony, I was like, what the hell is that? And then I got down there and everybody was freaking out. They were like, oh, yeah, what is that? Blah, blah, blah. And I Googled it and I was like, apparently it's a walking catfish. And I scooped him up in a 7-Eleven hot dog box and took him back down to the inlet, and he forever lived. So they travel from landmass to landmass another as well. Yep. Isn't that neat? So you never know what you learn on the front porch. Everybody was kung fu fighting. That fish was fast as lightning. Wow. I wonder if an El Pout walk. I don't know what the hell the El Pout is, Lisa. They can live in stagnant Arby's. God dang. Right? That is really interesting how they mate like that. I know seahorses, they mate for life. Wonder why their eggs are bright orange. I don't know. Generally things that are bright in the it's an eel. Hot dog was not on my bingo card. Lord. I wonder if they're like seahorses, because they mate for life. And then if one seahorse dies, I think the other one dies of grief, if I'm remembering correctly. It's a fish, the El Pout Festival, which is super fun. Oh, okay, cool. Is it good to eat? I like eating fish. Mardi Gras on ice. Well, that sounds like it's cold. That sounds very cold. At least it goes ice fishing.
Well, she can go ice fishing without me.
Nope. I'd just be scared the whole time I was going to fall the hell in. They call it a poor man's lobster. That's awesome. I ain't going ice fishing. No, ma'am. No, thank you. All right, guys, I'm really going to shut it down this time. Arctic, did you have anything else for us tonight?
No. Thank you for having me up.
Well, thank you for coming up. Always an honor to have you up here. And remember, guys, if you see something, say something. We never give up. It takes a village to raise a child. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Arctic?
Be kind to one another out there.
And Kimber fell asleep on us. All right, good night, guys. Again, thanks for being here. I appreciate all of you.
I stand on this mountain, I look down and see a world I was once underneath. I stand on this mountain and I look down, my mind knows more than it once knew. Then I knew. Now you're here, now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be than foundly see. Foundly see. I climb down this mountain and I look around just to see that everyone used to be me. I climb down this mountain and I look around, my mind embracing more than the truth, than the truth, than the truth, than the truth, than the truth. Now you're here, now everywhere with me. If this is lost, then there's no place I'd rather be. Found me sing, found me sing. I found missing, found missing, found missing, found missing.